Good morning and welcome to today's live show. Today we're going to be doing some stock market analysis for the SPY Qs, Apple, Tesla, Amazon, Nvidia, AMD, and Meta going forward, and AMC and GME, by the way. But if you wanted to, at the end of this video, we're going to do a little breakdown for what is to come. So we're going to do a little breakdown towards the end of this video if you want that. And if you need a breakdown before this video starts, last night's video, I just didn't have a lot of time to go through the charts, but I was able to go through the charts last night and maybe figure out some stuff on these hourly charts here. So I'm looking at an hourly chart for today. We have a huge range for today. So I'm expecting some volatile moves. I'm expecting that volume to come back into the market, and Citron just came out and said they are no longer short on GME. Very interesting to see that. So as we get into it today, we just have to follow these signals carefully. Like I said, I still believe that the higher time frames are going to be more important here. I think the higher time frames will be much more important. Oh god, I gotta do something real quick. There's some verification thing happening, so I gotta do that real quick. But good morning, guys. I just gotta do something real quick here. Making me like verify something this morning. It's so weird. Everything is making me verify everything across the board on all my platforms these days. And I'm like, I've already verified everything, so I don't get why it's randomly doing it on every platform across everything at the same time. Very, very strange still, but hey, maybe it's just their timing for doing that. We'll find out. Let me get back over to here. All right, so for the SPY, you see we're having some upward movement. I wanted to get live before we get that CPI data. We do get CPI data this morning, so we can see the core inflation rate. It looks like everything's supposed to come in even across the board, except for the inflation rate month over month. The inflation rate month over month, I'm expected to tick down, so we could get like good news in the morning, and then we have to see with Jay Powell if he's actually going to do some kind of rate cut. I think we're gonna have to maybe do like a 2-hour live stream, like 2 hours after the open, and then do a breakdown, then come back in the afternoon and watch Jay Powell. So actually, when does he talk? Oh, and just a reminder that that course is still $100 for the whole month of June. It's $100 right now down in the description. You want to get learning on some of this stuff. I know that the market's kind of wonky right now, but eventually it will even out and we'll be able to actually trade in this bad boy on the shorter time frames. Right now, I just suggest the bigger time frames are the ones to pay attention to. Maybe starting at an hourly is what I'm figuring out, but I really still think 2-hour and a daily chart would probably be the best. When does he talk? 1 p.m. Okay, so 1 p.m. my time, 1 p.m. Central. We get the, well, that's when we get the Fed interest rate decision, FOMC economic projections, and then he actually talks. The Fed press conference is at 1:30 for me, so an hour and a half before close. All right, we'll pay attention to that. Cool. Ooh, I slept a little bit too much, I think, last night. I slept too good. Alrighty, so for the SPY, real quick, just so you guys have those updated ranges, it's a big range. We have like 4 times, if you're part of the Patreon, I message you saying, hey, we have like 4 times the amount of implied volatility today. So 544.74 to the upside. We have 529.16 to the downside. Key thing about this here is it is up in this area, which would take us outside of the weekly. It would take us outside of the monthly, and then maybe we would go and test the daily. So if we do get good news this morning, I would expect some resistance up in this area. Doesn't mean we have to crash right down. Now we can, but I'm just saying this more likely, you know, once you head up higher in these moves, you'll see this keep curling. So we'll just pay attention to our MACD. If that's rolling up and going negative, that is the signal for more of a bearish trend, okay? And the Qs, looking at those, a big range again here for the Qs. We have, let me pull this down so you can see it, 476.25 to the upside, okay? So 476.25 to the upside, and then we have 459.79 to the downside. So you see how this as well takes you outside of the monthly, it takes you outside of the weekly, and then you can go test that. So if we do that early on in the day and people get overzealous to the call side with the PCC, we can see something crazy happen. Now we do have volatility that tried to scale up just a little bit here. It's getting kind of tight. Okay, so whichever way this decides to distribute, we might see a big move. Let's pay attention. But remember, we have one move in the morning and one move in the afternoon, and most likely those, if we start to get outside of ranges, those could be opposite moves, so we'll pay attention to that. The dollar, remember, this thing is just holding up. Look, the 2 hours getting close to the center line, it's just holding up. We can notice last night, what happened overnight? Well, we saw some selling here, so or sell off in the dollar, so we might actually see some buying in this area, see some kind of pop this morning. We'll pay attention. We don't necessarily want to read into yields, TLT, anything like that, because most likely it will react to the data. That's very important to understand. XLU, what's happening here? Still down. And then Apple, this one's starting to come down. This is already outside of its weekly expected move. So Tesla is starting to see that bounce. Like I said, I think this has a good shot to turn up and maybe go test this level up here, something like 173 to 172. So pay attention to that for Tesla. And then Amazon, this one here, I think an hourly is a little bit better. We could see like at least a little bit more clear, but as of right now, you would say I have some kind of divergence. If this 15-minute rolls over, that's not a good sign. But maybe this wants to just, consolidate before breaking through this key level. We'll pay attention. NVIDIA, this one here is just, it's kind of back and forth. So now the 2 hour does have some room. So maybe we do want to pop higher for a day, for a few hours here, and then we see this happen. We'll pay attention to this, but kind of a complicated one to see. Really, I think it's just when the daily rolls over, we're going to see that overall pullback. I think this daily rolls over. Okay, we'll see a pullback to the 20 or the 50. That would make the most sense here. But it just looks definitely rigged to the upside. And then we'll go into AMD. This one here already at its weekly expected move. So I am expecting some kind of bounce from this level. But if that bounce is given away by the end of the day, we could see something dramatic to the downside. So just be cautious with it. Meta, this one here, creating a bunch of 30-minute divergences. That's why we're trying to clear it up. Just say 2 hour crosses. Yeah, we can see some kind of pullback. That's overall how I'm thinking about it there. The hourly, you can see this little blip up. Okay, maybe that's all the divergence we need. We're outside of ranges on pretty much all these. Microsoft, this is actually breaking through, and you really want to consolidate before breaking through. So this move right here, a little bit sketched out by it. Google, this one here did consolidate, right? It did consolidate in this move. You could say possible head and shoulders. Sure, we came above that a little bit, but you could say left, head, right shoulder, we break through. Maybe we go up for a little bit longer. We'll have to pay attention to that. 2 hour curling up. Let's see if that creates anything right here and fades. But as of right now, you would say it could see a positive move. It's all dependent on the data, though. AMC and GME, this is a great sign. Yesterday we played AMC pretty much to a T, and then GME followed afterwards, so that was very good. Now we're seeing a little bit of upward pressure here. Very good that they're the shares that they sold. I mean, it only took like 3 days for those to get bought up for GME, which is a good sign. And look, AMC is making the same move. So they do work in tandem. The same algorithm is holding these guys down. AMC actually looking a little bit more positive than GME just because this isn't positive yet. But it looks like they can't fight both at the same time, right? That's what I overall think. I think they're having a hard time fighting both at the same time. SMCI, this one, starting to go down into the buy zone. Okay, the key thing here was 2 hour never curled over. Okay, 2 hour never curled over. So you always, when the 2 hour isn't curled over, you always have to be aware the 30-minute curling up. It can send us right back into this sell zone, okay? As of right now, we're paying attention to this, but if that 2 hour rolls over, bad. If the 30-minute rolls up, good. That's pretty much all we have to take from this. Let's look at gold. That was making some funky moves up towards the center line. If that rolls over 30-minute, that could roll back down. And then let's look at Bitcoin for a second. Well, Bitcoin we like on our 2 hour. This thing, as of right now, just seeing some kind of bounce. We'll see if that's able to break down, right? We see the double top. Now we maybe test this big zone in here, probably this high right here. If you get above 68.5K, then you're probably back in business, actually. I think you're actually reversing that trend around. But for now, I think we get some kind of reaction, and then we'll see what happens around this area here, around that 68, what is this? Around that 68 to 69K. I think you get above 69K, you get back above this little level here. We kind of build up, consolidate, build up again. That would be very good for Bitcoin going forward. The reason we were just a little bit bearish on this was a contrarian bearish signal, right? We had the divergence, we went down, now we've tested the 50. This isn't really a cup and handle anymore. You violated too much. If anything, it would say, hey, if I test some levels in here and I get rejected at any time, you're kind of looking at double top up here. So we'll pay attention to it, but it hasn't rolled negative. That's a very key thing to understand. AMC, once again, this one here is saying pullback still on the daily scale. GME is rejecting that right now. So we'll see what happens with GME today. All right, let me get this camera up. There you go. Sorry, I know my video last night, I'm not someone who's good at, I don't want to make things up. I don't want to lie to you guys. I don't want to say anything that I don't feel is helpful. So last night I was like, this is a very, very difficult market to trade the shorter time frames in. And I'm just being honest with you. And you guys know I haven't been trading it either, right? I sold out of my volatility position and I was just like, I'm going to wait till things are more clear. And I think that's very good advice, right? If this daily, we see some kind of pop and this just fades throughout the day and that starts to go the other direction, well, we might confirm that divergence and it might be all said and done. I know that we have GME, like they have some kind of event tomorrow, right? The shareholder meeting. So we're paying attention. But overall, it just says, the shorter time frames. If you try to go into a 15-minute and you're trying to trade this thing, you're just getting eaten alive. And I think this sideways price action is why that's happening, but it's also the low volume. I'm all cash too. Yeah, I think that's right. Citron announced no more shorting on GME, at least for now. And here's the thing, you got to take that with their word, right? You got to say, oh, are they really? Like, is it really? Or are they just lying to you? Well, it would be bad if they're lying because I'm pretty sure that's not the most legal thing to do. Lying about your position to cause some kind of reaction might be a bad thing. But that should be overall seen as a bullish thing, right? That should be seen as a bullish thing for GME. So we should see this popping. But I think the suppression of the stock is still going to be here. We talked about that. If a 30-minute curls back down, it is not the moment. If a 30-minute curls back down, that is the momentum saying, hey, I'm curling down in negative territory. That means not good things for the price of the stock. It means the price will go down. But if that can curl back up, or if that just remains curled up because we have a 2-hour that looks like it wants to cross. If the 2-hour crosses, I'm pretty bullish on this thing. Maybe we even do something like this. Yeah, maybe something like that looks right. AMC. This one you can't really do that with as well. This is where I'm saying, I think, like, weirdly enough, I think AMC is actually being fought more than people give it credit for. We still need to get above 633. That's all I'm paying attention to. We get above 633 and we don't see any kind of like downside moves, like some kind of fight against it, some kind of halts and things like that. Okay, cool. But as of right now, you'd say a bunch of halts can come in throughout the day. So I highly doubt AMC and GME just pop off by like 30% today, because there's going to be a halt every time it goes up by 5%. Every single 5% pop is going to be met with a halt. So we'll pay attention to that going forward. Best moves for the day. I just think the overall SPY and the Qs are just telling you at least volume is maybe going to come back today in this, because volume has been just garbage the past few days. If we go look at volume the past few days, we got 13 minutes until data. If we just turn on the volume real quick, let's keep that number up. And what do we see? We see 36.37. Okay, that's very low. And then the day before, another low one, 35.7. And the reason for that is because GME, if you go over here, there's 146 million. Over here, we see 131 million. And on AMC, what do we see? We see 64 million. We see 30 million. So it's either matching the SPY on AMC and going double on AMC. And then on GME, it's just, you get a ton of volume here. So that's just fishy behavior from the market. We can go look at something like NVIDIA and be like, look at this thing. This thing had, how much volume was in this bad boy? That's a ton of volume, actually. That's a pretty good amount of volume. But for NVIDIA, I guess that is very low, right? For NVIDIA, that would be considered low. They have a dividend coming out? Oh, 1 cent dividend, okay. All right, I'm trying to wake up this morning. Let me chug some coffee. That might help a little bit. Let's chug some coffee, just hang out for a second while that data comes in, while that data rolls in. Yeah, the offering is complete. That's what I meant to say. My brain's a little slow this morning, but the offering is complete. It only took like 3 days to complete. That's a very good thing. They actually have more cash on hand than many stocks that you guys want me to cover every single day. Like many stocks that people ask about. I think it has more cash than like Palo Alto. I think it was like it has more cash than Lowe's, other stocks like that. It has more cash than a lot of stocks. So Very interesting to see that. That is a very good thing. It means that they can kind of pivot and change the business on a little bit by doing mergers and acquisitions. We'll see what happens. As far as them maybe getting AMC, I believe they maybe still don't have enough cash to cover debt and pay for the company. So it most likely would be some kind of merger there, if I'm thinking of that correctly. Does CPI affect GME and AMC stock, and does CPI in general have effect in the stock market? Yes, it does, but you need to know that the overall thing that really causes crashes, causes disruption is unemployment, bank failures. Those are the two things to really pay attention for. And that's fine, Mary Shell, if you're not ready for the course, and that's perfectly fine. I'm just saying, like, you can use it to invest. I'm gonna try this weekend to make an investing portion, and that will allow you to just take your time. It's going to be worth it, because then you just know, hey, okay, maybe now's not the best time, and then this is a good time, what stocks to invest in, that kind of thing. I really like just tech stocks. I've always liked I've understood them for a long time. I can understand the earnings pretty well. I can understand any product development. So I stick with, most of the time I'm sticking with some kind of tech companies. That's why, like Apple, Tesla, Amazon, Nvidia, AMD, like all these things I pretty much understand. And then investing is probably the best thing I can say for a lot of people out there. Like, trading is not going to be for everyone. Not everyone can be good at a 30-minute. I know that's hard to like absorb. It's hard to hear, but it's like kind of like I say it like this: not everyone can be good at basketball. People will be good at different levels of basketball. So if you know that, then maybe you just want to take a step back and be like, okay, well, maybe I need some more time. Maybe I need to play a little bit different game. That would be a daily scale. Now, CPI can affect AMC and GME. I mean, I guess you would say it can. I would say it would be more of a reason for short sellers to step in. I can tell you this, GME and AMC, people who are holding, like, for the movement, they're not going to care about CPI at all. They're not going to care about CPI at all. They're really not. But what could be the deal here is bad CPI comes out, okay, you know, GME and AMC sell off. It just gives a reason for the market to actually go down, right? It gives a reason for them to short sell, and then the media can just say, bad CPI caused investors to get out of AMC and GME, and it looks like their offering's over, so GME and AMC are dead, and that's just kind of wrong. You're overall saying, like, a company with a ton of cash on hand is a bad thing, and I'm like, that's just not how it is. How are you? I'm actually good. I'm just a little sleep. I actually like slept almost the whole night through the night, and baby girl didn't really wake up. Maybe my wife did very good keeping her asleep, but so I'm a little sluggish, but I got coffee. I'm gonna chug some coffee. But we're at a time where this is some of the most distrustful stock market behavior I've seen in a long time. And that's why I was a little bit like, ugh. I think Virtue Hedge Fund has no more money since they're asking for a loan of 500 million. I think they're close. I think they're close to being out. And the thing is, like, it's kind of like, you know, when you like, I don't know how to describe it. You know, maybe you start a business and that business isn't as profitable as you want. And so you buy another you get another credit card, and then you put more money on the credit card, and then the business still isn't performing how you want. So then you get a loan from your buddy. So then you get a loan from the bank. Well, first you get a loan from the bank, and then it still doesn't go well, and it's still not performing. And then you get a loan from your buddy. That's the level you're at. You're at a level where their position is just dying off slowly. And I think they realize it in real time, and they're just trying to continue to fight the stock, which actually causes them more trouble over time. If the stock goes up, it actually feeds more into the problem. It's kind of like a short squeeze, right? All we're doing is squeezing out all of their liquidity, and then eventually, if it pops, they have to buy back in, and it's like, oh man, that's not going to be a good thing. You still owe all that money now. So it's kind of like starting a business, and the business isn't going the best, and you keep taking out loans, and then you just end up in a shit ton of debt, right? That's how I see it. This stuff up and running too, by the way. I know we got like an hour before the open, but when you describe it that way, you're like, oh, okay, so this really isn't the best behavior. It's not the best business move to keep going and keep going and keep going, but maybe their position is way more than $500 million, so they're like really scared to pay that back. That could be it. Yeah, we'll have to see with the meeting tomorrow. I think they're really going to maybe fight it throughout the day, but we'll see. A lot of the time, we're going to see fights throughout the day. A lot of the time, we're going to just see fights throughout the day, but we'll pay attention. We're paying attention to the right things. If this 30-minute curls over, it's not the time. If this 30-minute curls over, it's not the time. That's all we need to know. All right, we're doing this based on charts, and the charts are going to tell you if this crosses over, that means momentum shifting down. So AMC needs to pop right back up. 25-minute, 20x leverage, did good, but then the land of the free said no more of that. Hopefully we hear some good news and catalyst from the shareholder meeting. Yeah, you would hope so. You would hope so, just to get more institutions involved, I guess, just to hold that stock price higher. But I think everyone's kind of just lagging behind. Like everyone's thinking of all these other things. See, it's like perfect. It's like perfect. So everyone talks about Roaring Kitty executing the position. He doesn't execute the position. And then something good happens for the company. The offering happens, and now they're sitting on a bunch of cash, which, by the way, AMC has done that multiple times, and then they get hated on for it. They're doing the same thing. They're just using it to pay debt. Paying down debt is a good thing, right? Them taking advantage of these little, they knew it would be a fight, so of course they're going to take advantage of these things. They did the same exact thing. It's just they're not sitting on a bunch of cash. So that's interesting to me, but yeah, the other side to that is Roaring Kitty, he distracts you. He says, yeah, I'm going to execute, whatever. He doesn't say that, but he's like hinting at like the execution of the contracts. What does he do? He doesn't execute, and something for the company comes out as good news. Awesome. Now everyone's focused on the good news from the company, and then once everyone says it's dead again, right? Because this might die off again. It's a fight during the day. So if this starts to die off again, then it's like, okay, now everyone's distracted by the GME offering, and then he executes the contract. That's how I would see it. But yeah, it could be an investment company, and you have someone who is a great investor. He's one of the top investors. He's one of the highest holders in Apple. And look at Apple today. I mean, that thing is just screaming upside. And if he wanted to, he could sell some Apple today and turn around and buy some GME and get his full position back. So if you're seeing articles saying like, oh, Ryan Cohen is selling his position, and Lincoln, thank you so much for subscribing. Oh, he sold his position. He doesn't believe in it anymore. It's like, no, that's not it at all. Patience is key when trading. That's been my biggest mistake in the past. Yeah. That's why I'm kind of saying like the bigger time frames are what we really want to pay attention to. Because obviously, like, this move is just ridiculous. That is just stupid. There's no way in hell that this move was correct. As the whole market was going down, Apple just going insane. And then by the end of the day, everyone's like, hey, Apple looks good. Let's start to buy stocks. That's kind of what I think happens. I think it's all just a fake out ploy. I think every single move we've seen pretty much, since back here, since the beginning of May, has just been fake out after fake out. Just squeeze, fake out, squeeze, fake out to the upside, squeeze, fake out to the downside, squeeze. So it's a very difficult market to trade in, but thankfully I took one volatility play this week, and then I was like, all right, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm chilling. I like to be chilling. Let's go look over at some other stuff here. Amazon, this one here. Remember, I'm really thinking, remember, you don't want to fight against that daily momentum. That was number one. So we said daily momentum is here. You just need to pay attention as we approach these highs, because I'm pretty sure we're at the weekly expected move for this already. Let me go check. We have a little bit more upside to that weekly expected move. We could go somewhere around like 190. So maybe some upside is there for this morning. When does that data come out? 2 minutes until data comes out. Get ready. It's all loading. You're very informative. Enjoy your stream. I really like picking your brain and everything making sense. Yeah. If I can't make it make sense, call me out, man. Call me out. I'm not someone who thinks they know everything. I just try to bring common sense into my thinking with the charts, and most of the time I'm just thinking about the charts. Everyone yesterday, okay? Everyone asking me, when are they going to do the offering? When's the offering over? When is some good news going to come out for AMC? The charts will tell you when most likely something good is going to happen for GME or AMC. Okay, and right here, the chart said an hour, on an hourly chart, it said, hey, I'm going up. The 5 minute curled up, and we said that 5 minute curls up in this little red bar right here. That's probably when the hourly crosses up. Boom, we see that cross up. A few moments later, we get the announcement from GME. But this stuff was already starting to run before that happened, right? So what we were doing was following AMC because it was seeing strength for some reason. Now we see it pulling down on the 5 minute, that curls up, and then boom, you get the announcement of the offering. I don't even know when you got that, actually. When did that news come out? Did it come out after hours or something? But just like the charts most of the time will tell you, because insiders, someone will have information and the chart will move if they allow it to hit the tape, right? Because this is the lit market. So this is like if they allow you to see it, then that's when you will see the move, right? And in the money, yeah, I think pretty sure as long as, yeah, anyone can, yeah, you can execute. Well, execute, sorry, yeah. The contract you can exercise before the expiration, yes. Yes, you can. You are in, like, so if you're the one who is exercising the contract, you have the ability in the money to do that at any time. And then the person is, say if you like the call option, so they just have to have the shares to give you. So if they don't have the shares to give you, actually the liability goes on to whoever made the contract. So whoever made the contract is going to most likely distribute you shares, and then that person would have to pay the contract creator back. It depends on what's happening with the scenario. The scenario with AMC and GME is a little bit interesting. Some people think hundreds, some people think thousands. It depends on if the problem actually comes to light and if they cover. If they cover, yes, it does have potential to just go ballistic. The stock can go insane. Now, I'm not going to speculate too much on where I think it could go. I think both of them getting over $100 makes sense. I think AMC getting above like $40 in that, the problem comes to light, people cover. I think above $40 makes total sense, but I think it can go much, much higher. And then GME, I think getting over $100, if the problem slightly comes to light, if there's some covering, I think that it could get above $100, and I think that makes total sense. If both of these stocks get above $100, I'm going to add an ape to my sleeve. I'm still working on my sleeve. I'm letting my wife do my whole sleeve. I got Squirtle, who makes a wave for Stitch to ride his surfboard on. And then I'm going to put on the top of my shoulder, if both of them get above $100, I'm going to put an ape playing video games on my right shoulder. And keep ripping. All right, 731. So let's go look at the data real quick here. We have core inflation rate came down month over month, 0.2, supposed to come in at 0.3. Here, let's pull that up. It's core inflation rate month over month, 0.2, supposed to come in at 0.3. Core inflation rate year over year, 3.4, supposed to come in at 3.5. So coming down. Inflation rate month over month coming in at 0. Inflation rate year over year. All the numbers looking good as far as inflation goes. So we should be seeing those yields drop off dramatically. There you go. They're dropping off dramatically. This is why I was like, I think this is just not the right move. I think we're going to keep seeing the flight to TLT, volatility dropping off dramatically as well. The SPY just ripping right now. So this is what I'm saying about being cautious throughout the day. I think we could be seeing this go up, and then we have to see what Jerome Powell says later. So we're paying attention to it. This is why I was not taking my volatility play anymore. The Qs have the chance to rip because of this news, but just be aware that certain things are happening across the board. And actually, when you're going through deflation, assets have not deflated yet. These have not deflated yet. Do you see how high up they are? They have not deflated yet. So I think it was Tom Lee said like 5,500 or something for the SPX. So we'll pay attention to that. But as you start to get up in these areas, this is exactly where we should see weakness for the entire week right here. We're finally getting to it on Wednesday morning. So not the worst sign in the world. XLU not seeing too much movement off of that. Apple going up a little bit more. Tesla going up a little bit more. We'll see what the retest. If that's able to buy back, I think above this level, like 174, that'd probably be a pretty good thing for Tesla. We'll see. Amazon screaming higher. Now it's at its weekly. It's going to go towards its weekly expected move in a couple points. Nvidia here. This one, I don't know what they're doing. I feel like Nvidia should see some positivity from this. Maybe it creates an actual point of divergence on this hourly. We get triple divergence. That would be very, very nice. AMD, this one starting to bounce. This is the one I was like, this is going to be a rig move. It's down towards the weekly. It's going to bounce for whatever reason. So this here bounces for whatever reason. Okay. And then tomorrow we do get PPI. So there you go, all good news from those, and Meta starting to scream higher as well. Microsoft starting to really go higher as well, and I believe this one here. Wait, is it Microsoft? Let me go look at Microsoft real quick. Okay, let me click through here. Apple way outside the move. Tesla right in the middle of the range now. Amazon not at it yet. Nvidia. I don't have the correct ranges, but I used the volatility from last week. We'll see. I don't want to read into that too much. AMD, we thought that would bounce. Meta going right up to its weekly expected move as of right now. Microsoft, weekly expected move as of right now. It's outside of it. Google, still got to break through, but looks like it's going towards weekly expected move. But you would say if that is good news across the board, then that technically should be good news for AMC and GME. AMC only up 1%, GME up 3%. Good job. Makes sense. So now with GME, we want to see today, if that 2-hour can cross up, that would be a good sign. For Friday, I have a position that I'm trading back and forth. So pretty much anytime that thing's worth a little bit more, I'm just going to look at what the chart looks like. If I see a 15-minute curling over, I'm going to be out of that one. But most of my positions are for next week. So I do have an expiration this Friday, but I might roll it into next week. For the most part, though, it's like I could probably take some off the table on that position, just see if something crazy happens this week to kind of break even in the trade. If a good move happens, I could break even in the trade and then leave some runners for Friday. This anticipation is killing me. Yeah, that's why, like, my buddy was asking me all about it, and I was like, the best way to treat it, dude, is, you know, if you're saying, hey, I just want to see if I want to use an amount of money that's not going to really hurt me or affect my life. He goes, okay, I'll buy $500 worth. And that's what he did. And then I literally was like, okay, now you just don't have to watch it at all. Set a limit sell for the next 90 days at, say, like 100. And if it ever hits 100, you make a bunch of money. And he goes, oh, okay, cool. That's all he did. And then he just goes to work every day. He doesn't pay attention to it at all. Yeah, Apple, there's nothing really to say here besides this is a ballistic move. It's outside of the weekly range. So this would tell me that there is a high likelihood that Apple closes below a price point of about 204 by the end of the week. So this right here is the ballistic move. This is definitely not the correct move here, but the algorithm kicking in, I think. And 204, I think, is where we need to land back beneath. Now, that's a 68% chance. You do have a 32% chance to see something crazy still happen, but as of right now, you would say it's pretty early on in the week still. It's only halfway through in the morning, not even halfway through fully. So 204, we could land back down here by the end of the week. 68% chance on that. Good morning, YS. Yeah, E-Trade's not allowing me to exercise GME call options, saying it still have time to expiry. That's just not. That is called the platform is in trouble, I think. I think that they can't exercise your contract because whoever sold you the contract, right? Whoever's on the opposite side of that probably doesn't own the shares. I am. I'm a little sleepy. I slept like a lot. Now, I did a bunch of research last night just looking at the charts and trying to make sense of it. And the only thing I can think of is to look at the bigger time frames. Really sit back, be patient, look at the bigger time frames. I think that's the best you can do in a market like this one, because you're just going to keep seeing swings up, right? You're going to keep seeing swings up. This is holding up now. XLU is still, now you're seeing that bounce from XLU. I would still think we got to see by the end of the day. But if XLU is able to recover, that's kind of a different story, guys. We have to talk about it differently. But if the SPY comes out and he still says no rate cuts, or maybe he does say rate cuts and the market sells off and GME thing happens, we'll see. We have to just react, right? So right now, what would I say? Well, if this comes up into this area, there should be weakness there. So we'll pay attention, but we have a lot of time until Jerome Powell talks. And we can get ripped around all day. The implied volatility is a little bit higher. Oh, you bet your ass. You bet your ass I need that Japanese breakfast sandwich. Dear God. She already hard-boiled eggs yesterday so that I could eat Japanese sandwiches every morning. And I was like, damn. And I also roasted her yesterday. I was talking about how you guys make fun of her because she always just makes sandwiches. But I showed you guys the ramen she made. The ramen she made was dank. It's so good. So that's the problem. It's like, technically, if you're in the money and you execute the contract, like they're supposed to execute. You have the power if you're in the money. So that's just weird to me that they're saying you have time to expiry. That seems fishy to me. Because it's your right. It's your right. You bought the right to buy those shares at that price. So that's just very interesting. I would say E-Trade is in a lot of trouble with all this. Which what means JP Morgan might be in a lot of trouble with all this? Is that who's behind E-Trade? I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it's JP Morgan. I think. So on here flagging out. This looks like a daily swing trade coming. That's some divergence there. It's just weird how certain stocks look similar. Like this to me almost looks like Google kind of. There's the dip down. No, it's Microsoft. It looks kind of like Microsoft without this dip down. Feels like Apple is going to replicate what Nvidia just done. Green Day because yeah, so CPI did come in pretty cool there. And they have volume in the market now. But I would just be cautious with upward moves here. Again, I know I say like, oh, be cautious here, be cautious, be cautious, be cautious. It's because in the grand scheme of things, the market has been going up for years, right? Years and years and years. Right here we say be cautious, okay, we bottom out. Now we're saying be cautious again, and that can take time to form, but I'm just telling you, like, it's not a good time for me to be like, oh, very confident that I'm going to see a big 2-hour drop and then not be rigged to the upside. A Morgan Stanley, that was it. Thank you, Paul. Posting there out of GME due to the $5 billion on hand. First of all, that is good. Now, does it mean that they're buying back into the company? We'll see. It does mean that they are out of their short position, unless they're lying. If they're lying, that is some illegal things because you're trying to affect the stock. Right? They're like, oh yeah, we're out of the position, and then the stock goes down. They're like, Citron's out of the position, and the stock still goes down. It's like, that would be very, very fraudulent. Like, you're just not allowed to do that. Bad CPI, no rate hike, bad market news. I don't know if it's bad market news, but I'll tell you this, it's still a flight to safety from TLT. Still a flight to safety to TLT here with that retest. You just need to know that eventually this flight to safety becomes very obvious when you look back in the past. And so pretty much once you start to cut the rates, you have 6 to 18 months before something really bad happens. But it was good news, yeah. You can't say it is bad news. Everyone wanted a lower inflation, right? Everyone wants lower inflation, so it's going to be good news. But it's more like, if it's such good news, then really, and see the dollar dropping off dramatically, that means there's a big pump coming. That's great. Okay, awesome. Now, the key thing here is the dollar still higher up with the SPY? Well, technically, yes. So we haven't seen that bad thing, right? The dollar has bottomed here. The dollar bottomed here, and the dollar has not come back down to these levels. We'll see. We'll see. But the dollar can come all the way back down. We can squeeze higher again and again. Now that volume's coming back in, we see another move higher. So we're just paying attention. This is why sitting on the sideline. Isn't TLT supposed to be inversely correlated with the SPY? It depends on the time. So during inflation, you usually will see it correlated, but you've seen a huge inverse in correlation now. So now is the time where you see this, like, right, the SPY has been going up and up and up, and TLT has been just dropping. Now you're seeing it go this way and the SPY go this way at the same time, right? They're kind of correlated there. I think they were correlated a little here, positively here, negatively here. And now we have to see, is this run eventually going to cause that negative correlation to come through with the SPY? And the answer is, well, if you go back and look at history, the answer is yes. But sometimes it takes 6 to 18 months to happen. Now, I'm not saying that has to be some kind of big crash. It could just be an overall correction. It could be some kind of small recession or something like that. But as of right now, with all the signals I'm seeing on the monthly scale, it tells me something really bad's coming around the corner. If that doesn't confirm, then nothing bad comes around the corner. But I'm very sketched out by this move. I'm just going to tell you right now. These moves seem very funky to me. The volume seems funky to me. And people will say, oh, people are just sitting on their hands before the event happens. It's like, oh, if people are sitting on their hands, then why is GME and AMC seeing like double or triple the amount of volume that we've seen in the SPY? Yeah, it's kind of just this is, I mean, someone said it I think like a week ago. They were just like, are we about to see just the absolute blow off top? And I was kind of just telling them, I was just like, well, technically we've already seen it, right? Ever since we came above here, that's been blow off top territory, right? So right here we are seeing it, but don't think that can't continue. We like to say that a lot of the time because people think like, oh, because it goes higher, it has to drop. It never has to do anything. It's going to do what it wants to do. And these days it's going to do whatever they want it to do for sure, right? Usually there's at least some kind of thing that you can follow in the market. This is why I've just been sitting on my hands in cash and just happily holding my AMC and GME position because it's just very fishy behavior. AMC is seeing a bump of about 1.5% before the open. And now we have GME at, oh, sorry, 2.79%. God damn, I was really slow right there. NVIDIA's volume. See what NVIDIA does. I still think that this should head higher now. Actually, let's do 2 hour. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, so if I see a little 2 hour divergence, that would be nice. I still think NVIDIA could go up and hit like 135, 130. SQQQ is cheap. You've been scaling into that bad boy, haven't you, Scott? Love to see it, that's fine. It's not the worst move in the world. And just know this, there were times in history where they proved that they were messing with the price of SQQQ. I'm not trying to scare you out of it. I think it's like, it's a fine play if you think there's going to be downside. But there was a time where they caught them like messing with SQQQ. Like they weren't seeing it go up as the Qs were dropping. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. What is KULR? This is another penny one, but you are going positive on the 2 hour. The daily is more so what you need to go positive here. You are crossing up though, so that is a very good sign. So daily cross ups, you do pay attention to them, and then this would be a contrarian indication, right? It would be bullish contrarian as of yesterday, and then you don't want to fight against that, right? I wouldn't be shorting this either because that's one of my rules. If I see the daily momentum can take over, I just don't mess with it to the downside. Now you need that to go positive. If that can go positive, okay, good move left in it. We'll see what happens. Let's look at this one too on the daily, FFIE. I know a lot of people paying attention to this. Oh, wow, that is tiny. It's still positive, but you're just not seeing that cross up. If the daily can cross up, you might see a good move. It's just these ones here look like they're really dying off, but it hasn't fully, right? We can't say it's dead until it crosses that center line. So if this curls up at any time for FFIE, that'd be a decent one there because daily momentum may take over. Green wave. This one here, you actually have divergence down at these levels. So green wave, if this can turn up, guys, right? You don't have the divergence completed yet. You're just forming it. You need that to at least turn up so you see a little green bar, and then you can say, oh, okay, cool. That there looks like an opportunity. As of right now, you're not necessarily seeing that opportunity show itself just yet. Let's see. Now, these are not the right ranges. These are last week's, but I haven't updated these. But little 2 hour divergence in here might be telling. Yeah, that thing just screaming higher, actually, though. This probably gets violated. 2 hour divergence there, coming up to our trend line. Interesting. Mara probably catching a bounce here. Able to turn up. Now maybe we head to the zone. It's just every move is just so funky in every stock. Gold, seeing a bounce there as well, has the divergence, so gold can start to turn up from here. According to this momentum, if that can confirm and go positive, that would be a good turn up. AMC and GME, you just really want these 2 hours to start crossing. You want the bigger time frame momentum to start to take over. Like, that's the key thing. Every single time, you just want to see it bump up, bump up, bump up. Oh yeah, the ES is gonna be pumping right now. Citron, I read the tweet this morning. I'm just kind of more like, are they being honest, or are they trying to put out some kind of thing? Like, you can't tell me that Citron can't get away with trying to do something sketchy, like saying they got out of the position and then the stock doesn't pump, and then people go, oh, maybe the short problem's not real. And then they would just say, okay, oh, Citron's out of it. Okay, well, that's why the stock's pulling down, is because the problem's not real. And I'm like, that would be something they could get away with. So, but if they are getting out of their position for real, I think that is the smartest thing to do. I genuinely think that's the smartest thing to do, because they're just going to lose a shitload of money if this thing pops off. How do you play a gap up? If I didn't get a cross before, so like let's say a 2 hour gap's up to here for AMC. If I didn't get this crossing down here at the end of the day to give me a hint, right, to take the play because it's positive territory, my indicator is going to tell me if this was green. Hey, the play looks good. If we would gap up to here, I would probably look for like a little 5-minute or 15-minute pullback and then see that thing turn back up, right? So like this one right here, you see this one right here, big gap up. I think it opened here, closed here. Okay, so it opened here, closed here. So what would I look for? That's a 2 hour gap up. I didn't get any indication there. You see how the green bar comes after the gap up. So what would I do? I'd probably look at a 15-minute, a 30-minute, and I'd wait for that thing to curl back up. So as you can see, we curled down, we tried to curl up, we curled down, then we get close to the center line. We see this pop up right here. I like 30-minute charts the most. So in this, what do I notice here with the 30-minute chart? Well, right here it crossed up, right here. So right here, it told me, okay, upside potential. Boom, it goes up, it curls down. I go, okay, maybe not the moment. And then boom, right here on this bar, okay, there's a move, 547. I can catch that for a moment there. This could be the moment, blah, 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 blah. Boom, big move, you know, another 10% in like a day. That's a good thing. But usually when I see gap ups, I'm looking for some kind of better reason, better position, better reason for more upside. I'm not going to chase anything. So with the SPY as of right now, you see that thing gapping way up. The 2 hours or the 30-minute here is going to be overbought. So I would look for a 15-minute to pull down and then turn back up. I would look for the 15-minute to do this and then do this. And then I would say, okay, right here looks good. Upside is there. Now I have divergence. Maybe that starts to reverse the trend. I'm not going to chase anything. I'm going to make sure there's a good setup. If the setup is not there, then I am patient and I look somewhere else. G-Wave just needs to turn up and give you daily momentum. I did hear that, Trevor, and I think it's a good thing. Now you have a company that's sitting on more cash than a ton of companies that are trading a lot higher. Right now, like, you guys like this stock, right? It's priced at like $315. Did you know that right now GameStop has more cash on hand than Palo Alto? Did you guys know that? Yeah, and gap and crap is true. And what a gap and crap is if you gap up and you see like a 15-minute or a 30-minute curl back down, you're just not going to see that thing curl back up. And if you do see it curl back up, it's going to curl back down, right? You just have to be quick with it. That's why the shorter time frames aren't for everyone. But a lot of the time you can catch gap ups once dailies cross over and things like that. But yeah, pretty much gap and craps are just, if it gaps way up and then we see the 15-minute roll down and it just goes negative, then that would not be the moment. Low of day for GME. I don't really have a low of day. I still think that the Citron research one is I think that tweet is overall a distraction. I think this stock is going to be forced down just like always. I think they might even be lying. And they can get away with it because they're a big guy. Big guys can get away with that shit. We can't. How low will GME potentially go for the low target entry? The lowest GME could go this week is about $16 to $15. $16 to $15. We gave that on the Patreon because it's the coinciding move to this one. And there's a way with this right here to put the lower number on your chart. I'll tell you, but you have to do the work. I'll tell you. Okay, I'll tell you. I'll give you a hint. You guys want a hint? Who wants a hint? Who wants a hint how to find the lowest GameStop can go with the weekly expected move? Because I only gave you one. How would you find the other one? Do you guys know how to find the other one? You guys want to know how to find the other one? I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right now how to find the opposite of this one way down here. Okay, I'll show you. I'll show you guys. Okay, so you go find Monday. You go find Friday close. You see the Friday close was right here. Or actually, you can do it. Daily scale is probably quicker. Let's just do daily scale. All right, where was the Friday close? All right, Friday close is right here. You just take a line like this, and you'll get a pretty much a good estimate. Then you put that right on the bottom here. Then you go like this. Then you go like this. That's the line. That's all it is. So 529, that's as low as it's expected to go. So 171 of you people got to see that. So if you ever get one side of the range, you can always make the other side. You know it's an equal distribution there. It's the 68% zone is right here, and we are right in the middle of it. So that's as low as it can go according to the options market, right? So there's a 68% chance we hold above that, but this is as low as the option market expects it to go unless something crazy happens. All right, shh. Nobody else knows. Only you guys know that, all right? It's gone. All right, but that's what we give away on the Patreon, by the way. We give those away for multiple stocks, and we, in the course, teach you how to trade around them. It's just right now, we haven't seen anything really move outside of the moves that have made a setup, right? Apple hasn't even made a setup. It's just like going outside of the move, right? Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if that's even true, first of all. The second thing I would say is if they're out of the position, are they buying back in to cover it? Or are they just completely out of the position and taking the loss right now? Either way, that means this should not be shorted as heavily. I'm going to put it out there and say most of what Citron has said is a bad thing. It is the opposite thing. Okay, so I think they might actually still be short. Because if they really got rid of that short position, he says, it's a small position, it's a small, I don't think it was a small position. If they really got out of that position, like GME would just be rocketing, in my opinion. It would be rocketing. So I'm not totally convinced just yet, but hey, we got to take them for their word. It's kind of like what I say with my friends when they ask me for relationship advice, because I studied relationships a lot for fun. They ask me for relationship advice, and they go, well, I think that he's cheating on me. And I go, well, what's he saying to you? Okay, cool. Well, here's the thing. You need to start thinking like this. If he tells you something, you take him at his word. If she says something, you take them at their word. Because you're dating them, you're supposed to trust them, so you trust them. That's the best thing you can do. And then if they're doing something bad and they lied to you about it, it's not the fact that you're an idiot or anything like that. You're not an idiot. They are just an asshole. That's it. People always think like, oh, I'm such an idiot. No, you're not. You trusted someone you were dating. That is a very good thing. And I would highly encourage you to do so. It's just when someone does something and they're lying to you, all that it is they're bad, and don't put anything bad on yourself. They're lying to you. They're an asshole. Very simple. Top of the morning to ya, J. Cole. I'm Oprah. You get an AMC stock. You get an AMC stock. You get an AMC stock. Wait, that's not even that good. That's like $5.22. That's not even that good. You get an analysis. Pal at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. I saw 1:30. No way. It's not coming out at 10 a.m. No, I see Fed press conference at 1:30, aka my time, Central Time, so that would be an hour and a half before close. And then tomorrow we get PPI, and that's supposed to come in cooler as well. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Oh, good news all week. Well, it's a $5 stock right now. Just saying. Where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going? So I can kiss you anytime I want? This is the dumb shit I buy. I buy such meme stuff. I buy the worst things. Also, where's Polar Bear? Is Polar Bear in here today? Where's Polar Bear? Polar Bear? Where's Polar Bear? Where are you? You guys, we got 30 minutes to open. We can goof around for a second here. Okay, we can goof around for a second. It's gonna be fine. Wow, take me to dinner first, dude. Need a green screen with a backdrop of Powell. Just me and Powell. All right, guys. I wish Polar Bear was in here. If he comes in here, I'll show him this. I've had this since I was like 13 years old, and I've kept it my entire life. I don't know why, but my wife hates it. I don't get it. It's so cool. There you go. Can we see your dogs? You will in a sec. They're all napping. They're all laying in their bed napping. But if they come up and say hi to me, I'll have them say hi. But I have a pit bull. I have a husky German shepherd lab beagle. He looks like a big, fat, husky German shepherd fox looking thing. People thought he was a Shiba Inu. I'm like, he's 80 pounds. He is not a Shiba Inu. All right, let's go look at the SPY again here, by the way. See if resistance comes in at any time. Remember, oh, Tom Lee. Magically right again. Next time we get to go through some craziness, anytime Tom Lee says something, I'm just going to like immediately buy whatever he says to that direction in options for the next like 3 months. Just like if Nancy Pelosi, like you see one of her trades, it's just like, okay, buy that position for a year. What time is it for me right now? It's 8 a.m. So I got about, my open is at 8:30. Central time, baby, Central time. Classic flyover state over here, you know, classic. I like Kansas. We cleaned it so I could have it for today. Look, 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 look. That's his butt. I like Stitch, if you didn't know. Ohana means family, motherfucker. So I don't do entries based on fundamentals. I do entries based on, well, maybe sometimes some fundamental, but most of the time I see it proven in the chart, okay? So GME, the best time to enter, we were talking about this yesterday, how you want to enter when momentum is giving you a signal to enter. I'm not telling you when to enter, by the way. Whenever I say anything about these charts, I'm just telling you what the chart is telling you. As of right now, we said right here, yeah, there is a chance for there to be this to go positive. So bullish contrarian indication, it's in a bearish territory here. It's in a bearish trend, right? Because it's below the center line. So right here, this crossing up right here, this right here told you, okay, positivity can come because we are close to the center line. If we cross that center line, we are bullish. So we haven't crossed that center line. Now AMC has. So we were talking about AMC earlier, right? We even went into a 5-minute and showed you how I look at stuff, and I can see, well, if an hourly is going to curl up, then a 5-minute right in here is going to curl down. I'd like to see that pull back to gain some buyers and then curl back up. And it did. And we pulled that up live and we just said, hey, you know, right in here, we were like, I would love to see a 5-minute pullback. It did. And then I think I got off like right here, and then it crossed up and boom, that hourly crossed over. That's how we can read into charts. If I think the hourly is really close to crossing over right here, well, then a 5-minute curling up is going to cross that. So that's how you get into, like, it's kind of like looking at the micro to find the best position. But hourly curls up, now you're positive for AMC. So what would be a bad thing? What would be a bad thing if the 30-minute crosses over. Why would this be bad? Because it's very close to that center line, meaning it is still possibly in a negative trend if it just crosses over. So what could happen here? What if we do this? Right? That is the potential. What if we keep going? That is potential here for AMC if it crosses right here. So I would say, hey, maybe no upside here, but if you can do this, maybe hold up a little bit better or cross up into positive territory again at any time, that could be the time. I like to see setups that look something like this when a move like this happens. Okay, because then I get really close to the center line. I know the next move can go very positive. Potential to go very positive if that crosses over again. But right now we're thinking in the future, which is very, very good, right? So if this starts to turn down, I just don't want that 30-minute to cross over. So what can I pay attention to in here for that 30-minute to cross over? Well, the 15-minute crossed over. So if that 15-minute curls down for a couple of bars, that would only be one 30-minute bar. So I think the next 30 to 45 minutes are very important. If this starts to go negative past 30 to 45 minutes, I know that this dipping down, if that can curl back up, then that 30-minute is not going to cross. But I know this, if this goes negative for more than 45 minutes, then that 30-minute is going to start to cross, and that won't be a good thing, right? That means the stock can just keep going like this. But just know, every single time we see some kind of run up, there's going to be them forcing the stock down, okay? You know they've short sold the crap out of this. He says, oh, I'm out of my GME short position. Okay, well, if you're out of your GME short position, then why is this staying higher? Why is this ticking up as of yesterday? As of yesterday, this was down here on Monday, right? It was down at 21.3 million, and this is not all the data, but you can see in the past, the same problem, same level, and we're remaining at higher levels now. So they're fighting the stock. Right here says more short positions were applied. More shorts were sold. More short selling was going on right here as of yesterday for GME. So the fact that he said he sold that position, well, if this goes up to here again, then I know that that's probably a lie, or they're somehow maybe giving their money to someone else to short it. So this is all you need to see is it's still ticked up, even though they said we're out of our short selling position. More shorts were sold here. Now, the big signal for AMC is you want daily momentum to be back with you. So if this curls up, GME, you still have it as of right now. It looks like it wants to curl down. We'll see. We'll see. But right now, I think the most important thing is 30-minute charts. So we'll watch 30-minute charts for the most part for AMC and GME. Meta is climbing. Everything's going to climb with that news. The big thing to take away from this, guys, is yes, the dollar is coming down dramatically. Yes, the dollar is coming down dramatically. But where is it at in the grand scheme of things? Okay, in the grand scheme of things, insiders are still out of this overall move. Okay, it bottomed right around here. So insiders are still out from this area, right? Because the dollar hasn't crashed down to these areas. Technically, if we're at a new all-time high from above 2022, which we are, then shouldn't we be down here with the dollar? Like technically, shouldn't we at least be down here or something with the dollar? We're not. So that just tells you insiders in here still have not been buying back into the moves. Now some insiders here sold again. Hold on one second. Something crashed down. I gotta go see what's going on. Give me 1 second. Something crashed down. I gotta go check. All right, we slammed some stuff in the kitchen. So I had to help clean up a mess real quick. Oh, goodness. Really freaked her out, though. My goodness. Sorry, I left you guys on the dollar. That's boring. That's boring. Okay, let me go over to this real quick here. Glad you guys are fine. Yeah, everything's fine. It's just baby girl got kind of freaked out. And we had to clean up a little bit of a mess, so. But I did get an egg sandwich. I did get the Japanese egg sandwich. Look at that bad boy. Danky danky. You think it can fade at the open? Anything can always fade at the open, right? Anything can happen. Price, anything can happen. I'm saying more I'm paying attention to if some big things confirm, like a daily chart. I think that's the most telling thing. Hourly, maybe we set up a point of divergence here that gives us a hint today, right? Was everyone freaking out? Everyone's freaking out? No, I just, she actually, well, I helped clean a little bit. I just held baby girl because mom freaked her out dropping something. So I just let her mostly clean up and I just held baby girl and we looked around outside for a second. She got scared. Big noise. See, I heard it all the way down here and I was like, damn, that was a loud noise. And Ari just started crying. Why is my camera off? I hate when it does this. Let me fix it. Yeah, he could be on the board. I thought that picture was funny though. I'm just trying to fix this camera real quick. Oh yeah, Miles. I don't know if you saw that from the YouTube video last night. I was just like, I think it's smart. Sell them and go away kept you out of all this turmoil. So I thought it was good. Sometimes it adjusts. Hopefully it adjusts down. Please adjust. Dang it, you stupid camera. Just adjust. I don't want people looking up my nose the whole stream. Adjust. All right, you guys might have to look up my nose the whole stream. I'll go lower. Maybe it'll adjust if I go lower. Maybe if I go lower like this. Nope, not gonna work. So we're gonna be looking up Luke's nose all stream. That's fun. But they went to Abuela's house, so we get to watch a lot of stocks today. Come on, focus up, focus up. I want to like point it down. This thing is usually it adjusts right away, so it's just kind of annoying me, but. I will, look at this. My nose hair, I don't know, it's like once I hit 30, my nose hair just started growing like crazy. Like crazy. No, I just shaved my nose like a few days ago. Not this side, guys. I don't have a nose here. They're all in there. You guys wanna know something freaky? This mole right here, that thing grows hairs that get like this long. And they'll literally be there and they'll be out and I have to sit there and pull them or have my wife pluck them. And right now we plucked them a few days ago, but there'll be like 20 hairs, just like black hairs like this long coming out of my ear because of coming out of this mole. Also, I'm known to I need to clean my ears probably. Thanks for the visuals. You're welcome. You know, we try to make it lighthearted here. Anyway, so the hourly turning up, if this is gonna fade, I think this will last for a little bit. Like we might see the hourly turn up, we might see some funkiness, we might do this, and then we start to see that fall off. I think that is more likely here. Let's spread this out a little bit. Like we're gonna open here, maybe it draws down, draws back up, draws back down. I think that would be likely, but the hourly here actually coming in to be a little bit important. The 2 hour here we want to pay attention to if that thing creates it as well, but I think the hourly will be a little closer. And there is potential here because the 30-minute is going to go like this. What if the 30-minute just rolls over? What if we see that divergence early on in the day? So we'll pay attention to it. Yes, Lisa, that's pretty much what it is. That's what it looks like. It really does. I hate this camera right now. I am someone who I definitely have things that really bug me, like loud noises. So when I hear a loud noise, I'm like, ugh, goddamn, I do not like it. I do not like those loud noises. The dollar, technically, if you want to think about the dollar correctly, the dollar is not necessarily stabilizing at this level. A lot of money is still out of the market. Now, that could mean the money could flow into the market at these levels. That would be very freaking interesting. I think it is a bull trap just based on what's going on with XLU. And look at that, we're opening up. We'll watch it. Just XLU. If we get up to these levels, we'll find out. But for now, we have to say this is bullish, right? It's in a bullish trend. It is bullish. Nothing about this says it is negative just yet. Oxy, give me the ticker. Knowledge on the go. Give me the ticker. I'm gonna eat my little sandwich because I want to search it. Oh man, my sandwich got a little cold because we were cleaning stuff. See, it's struggling to focus. My camera's struggling to focus because I'm lower. Don't want to take my hat off. There it goes. You see it? It adjusted. Good stuff. I thought it was Oxy. Sorry, I'm talking with food in my mouth. I thought it was Oxy. I'm a very polite person normally. Interesting. Oh, there's your breakout. Cool. Let's see if we had divergence down here. We obviously analyzed this at some point. I think we analyzed it here and said one more drop, see if that pops back up, but yeah, you held the divergences all the way across this. Now, not necessarily on the MACD, but you did on the RSI. Now, this looks flaggy to me, so you got to be worried about that dropping. But as of right now, it's breaking out. That looks pretty good. It's the first time the daily's crossing up. So you can see a good move. Maybe we get like something like this, some kind of rejection here, retest, and then go. That would be nice. But as of right now, you're seeing that curl up. That's a contrarian indication for upside there. So the indicator is saying contrarian indication. It could change the trend. It's just far away from the center line, so it's not like the most bullish thing in the world. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This is why we said, like, yeah, you have a 68% chance to drop, but you still need a reason to take the trade. The 30-minute, I'm pretty sure it never curled over. There's like no reason for me besides it's outside of its range, and that's just not good enough for me to take a trade. So I'm sitting on my hands a lot. IWM, whoa! Okay, IWM, chill out. Chill out, dude. Whoa! Whoa! If this curled over on the 2 hour. See, let's curl over on the 2 hour. I'm seeing if that'll curl back up. We'll see if this is short-lived. There you go. We're violating the divergence as of right now on the 2 hour bar. We'll see how this 2 hour bar completes, but let's see what AMC and GME are doing. See, these starting to rocket down. Okay, so 30-minute crosses over is not the moment. That's all you need to know. 30-minute crosses over, it's not going to be the moment. Has it crossed over yet? No, it hasn't. So 15-minute, still pulling back to the center line for AMC. We're going to see that for the next maybe 45 minutes. Yeah, trade sideways from the open, but right now it's trading up, right, on a lot of stuff. Looking to bounce in the bottom of your golden pocket. You have a golden pocket there. Yes, dude. I said to her after she brought me this for the first time. I had never had this before until like a week ago or something. Whenever I first ate it, I said to her, I would eat this every single morning, and she is making me eat my words right now. She's like, "Hey, you said you'd eat it every single morning." I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'm eating it every single morning now." I'm cool with it though. I love it. Feels like you're watching a horse race. Yeah, we can look at oil for a sec. Never got rejected from our zone. Oh wait, that's Bitcoin. Sorry about that. Never got rejected from the zone. Okay, you got some buildup at the zone, right? I would say maybe a 1 hour, right? As you went sideways down to the center line, boom, you bounced up. That's great. It's a great recovery. 4 hour never curled over. 2 hour might have briefly curled over. Yeah, curled over, curled back up. So you'd say positivity. Okay, positivity. I think you'd expect this to now want to do something like, you know, left, head. I'd assume some kind of consolidation comes in this area. That would be nice. But it looks good. Let's see if the ticker here I like. USO, that is just a straight V-shaped recovery. That is a straight up V-shaped recovery there, though. What's happening with the SPY? Wow. What a move. I would say this. I'm very glad I'm out of my volatility play. Curls up on a 2 hour, good sign. 30-minute trying to go positive. So 2 hour curl up would be a good sign. And you kind of have like a little resistance maybe here. Like if we take the high. We go like that, you can break out. Maybe there's some kind of consolidation now that we have some info. Right? We held the base, very important right here at the gap. Awesome. Now we see if we can break through. I think 2 hour crossing up means, hey, I could go positive, right? That's what I would say. So if the 2 hour curls up, I'd say it might have a few days of positivity in it. But we know that the market, it doesn't go up in one shot, so it could take weeks to play out that 2 hours. All right, we go up towards that weekly expected move for the Qs. And now we got to see what happens. Look at that, violating all the divergence here on the hourly chart for the RSI. So now we're getting squeezed. Thankfully, got out of that volatility play, right? Uh-oh. 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 I saw that negative ray right when you said it. I looked over, I was like, holy shit, that's negative now. Uh-oh. Not good. Now, that can take some time to catch up. Remember, last time it took like a full 2 days to catch up. Now it's taking almost a full week. If it's going to catch up over time, it's taking a long time. But that's not a good look. That is a bad look right there for XLU. That's crazy. Pablo mentioned it as well, but I just looked over and I was like, shit, that's negative? That's horrible. That is horrible. Just know we're paying attention to the right things. The market's not being correct. I think that it was held up in here when it should have been pulling back, and then this move would have made more sense. Now it just doesn't make sense because you just held up sideways. Yeah, I guess any way you put it, you can make it make sense, right? We broke through resistance. We gapped above that level. So if you start to retake and go down from there, not going to be the best sign. Someone said AMC pumping. So this is all you got to pay attention to, AMC, right? See this 15-minute. If this in the next 30 to 40 minutes, 30 minutes now, if that can curl back up, that means that, hey, that 30-minute has no shot at curling back down. BNet had a stock split. The sandwich doesn't hit the same when it's a little cold. It doesn't hit the same, guys. Is Apple absolutely mooning? Apple is mooning. Yes, it is. See, this is where crazy stuff can happen outside of the range, right? This is why you don't mess with it. You wait for reversal signals. You're getting no real reversal. I like 30-minute as the shortest time frame, and there's no reversal signal here. What's NVIDIA doing with this? Popping up, bad breakthrough resistance. We'll see. AMD coming up to 160.83, seeing that resistance come in a little bit there. Meta starting to fade the move. Microsoft screaming higher. Ooh, Google, what a move. Okay. Google might be setting up triple. If Google keeps this up, like technically with a rejection divergence here, you would have triple divergence for Google. Not the best look. No real divergence on the RSI and MACD at the same time for Microsoft, just all the way across. You see all the way across, we kind of have it still. Wow. See if that's able to curl up by end of day. GME trying to break down. Now it's curling right back up. The 15-minute wasn't even able to cross here. Oh, God. 28 to 30. I mean, we could technically get halts at any time. Any 5% move. Bummer. Yeah, and it's great you guys are paying attention to like bigger time frames able to cross over. Like that's exactly what you need to do is keep like bumping up those time frames. Bruce likes to play with Toby's bowl. So right now this is having a, well, the thing with Bitcoin that's kind of sketchy about right now, Bruce, Jesus Christ. The thing that's sketchy with Bitcoin is like you're seeing rip arounds and those are coinciding with maybe some short selling going on with AMC and GME. So it's like you want to be careful with these because they can use it as cash to fight the problem. But as of right now, let's just pay attention to what's important, right? Let's pay attention to what's important. The 30-minute, if this crosses over at any time, unless it starts to go ballistic to the upside and crosses over, then you can see a lower or a higher low. But as of right now, not crossing over, so we shouldn't expect any negativity here from AMC. XLU giving up the gain. Now, there's still going to be a reaction to the data. I think that maybe we sit up at these levels, maybe see a slim pullback, but we sit up at these levels until Jerome Powell talks, or until we at least get some of that FOMC stuff. See, this is why it's like, just pay attention how the dollar, yeah, it's right here. It came way down, but I want you to look at the bigger picture, right? The bigger picture is it has been going up for a long time, ever since December, technically, of 2023. So, and where's the market? Well, it's higher. So technically the dollar has been higher while the stock market has been higher for months. Very sketchy behavior there. The Dow, this could be important as well. I'm kind of sketched out by everything right now, but glad I'm not in any moves. But that move by XLU is just like, that is not good. That's not good, man. That is not good. Now it's coming back down to this level. It still could just be dipping down to turn right back up. We'll see. But the SPY just screaming strength here. So something I like to do, Zhao Zhang, instead of fear and greed, I look at volatility. This is technically fear and greed, right? So as this goes lower, that means greed, right? So greed, because these are technically calculating call options, like a month out call options is what volatility technically calculates. But you can look at fear greed index and it's good. Like I'll look at it every once in a while, but I won't like base anything off that necessarily. Now, if it's extreme greed, then yeah, I'm going to base something off it. I'm going to go look at the VIX, see if it's at 1212. Right now we're at 1212. Is it possible insiders gave up on AMC and GME, are dumping everything back into the stocks? Well, so what might be happening here is they might be pumping up stocks even higher to get individual investors in, and then they rip it away to catch back up to XLU and get that crash signal to actually like complete there. So what could be happening is you're going to see this pump up, and then by the end of the day, you see that all given up. And then because they have to use their stocks as collateral, they want to take as much money out of these to pay for the problem maybe. So if we see a huge run up from AMC and GME like tomorrow, and we see the stock start to really drop by the end of the day, and we see that big pump up tomorrow, I think we know what they're paying for. But they're going to say, in the media, they're not going to tell you that, right? If all that happens in the media, they're going to say, oh, we saw a major sell-off due to FOMC projections, no interest rate cut. All that stuff's going to be the title. But that stuff has never shaken the market up too much. It has given drops and stuff, but we've always ended up higher. So if we start crashing from here, and GME and AMC start pumping, you know the real reason. It's not because we're not getting an interest rate cut, or we are getting an interest rate cut. It's not because of those reasons. It's because they're probably pumping it up to sell it to retail traders at the top, just like they always do. Watch, they're gonna tell you that this is a great place to invest. All over CNBC, they're gonna say this is a great place to invest. Everything's a buy. Mark, I think a lot of the time I feel like gold is like a leading indicator less than following the data. But here you see gold coming down, so maybe I'm incorrect about that, but I think you're correct in your statement. Technically, if inflation is going down, then gold technically shouldn't be worth more, if you think of it that way. If inflation is going down, oil should not be scaling up, right? So just interesting, but just know that these lead and then the data lags behind, from my understanding. 30-minute has not crossed down. AMC a little bit closer to crossing, so I think we're gonna watch this one for a little bit. Let's go look at DJT. Now, I'm trying to think, does this have... really doesn't have the short volume here that some people were talking about. Sorry, I meant to go back to DJT. Yeah, I think you're kind of at a point where it's like if the daily crosses up, that's great. 2 hour, if that crosses up, okay, can that go positive? You might see a little bounce here. Just make sure that's not rolling back down. And then lastly, where you're at right now, the 30-minute is crossing. See if that can go positive, but know that there could be more work to be done. You've kind of broken a key level here, right? I'd say there's a little box right in between like 42.50 and 44.50. And so you could get a reaction up to there and then just see if this happens. So if this happens, it would say, hey, downside potential right now, up, okay. But if that would happen, then it would say, hey, more downside potential right there. If that doesn't happen, if the 30-minute doesn't curl over by the center line, hey, maybe a good thing. But if you get something like this, and then you see that divergence, that is when you have a good sign for upside. Maybe a good probability for reversal in trend. Is it ever gonna stop? I really think that this guy here is probably the one that they're pumping up now. I feel like everyone called out Nvidia for being rigged, and now they're gonna use Apple. It's a huge stock. If I was holding, let's say I invested in Apple at say like $60 and it was worth $212, you bet your ass I'd be selling that bad boy just from an investment perspective, like the basic rule of buy low, sell high. This is very high. I would not get greedy. This is a very greedy move to continue to be in at this point, in my opinion. That is an opinion. The charts are telling you bullish. This chart is telling you bullish. This chart is telling you bullish, but is it the best time to invest? That's kind of the thing here. But hey, crazy things can happen outside of that weekly range. I think it's a bubble. I think it's a bubble, and I think they're going to tell you to specifically buy Apple. They're going to say you should buy Apple. It has so much money in it that if they just rip this thing to the downside, technically they could use that money to either pay back for AMC GME or they could pay to fight AMC and GME. Because I still believe these are the biggest problems they have in the market right now. That's why the volume was such crap. We gotta see if this 15-minute can roll back up soon. I do not want that 30-minute to roll down. If it rolls down, that's not a good sign. That's one thing too. If you like the move from Apple, then technically Ryan Cohen's one of the biggest holders of Apple, I believe. Yeah, you can forget the crash signals. Eventually they catch up, but this is just the most rigged I've ever seen the market. in 10 years. Yeah, Joe Jacks, I feel you. And it's right when you feel like it can't go down that it will. They time it perfectly, and they just use the options to do it. They can tell people's sentiment straight up from the options. So now now the options are getting down here. So now it could be like, okay, now this is the type of thing you would see when you see some kind of reaction down. So I think they want that to get everyone get into calls, and we'll see what happens by end of day. Dow crossing up, I don't want to like try to say divergence or anything. I don't think that's really going to be helpful here. Like I said, the shorter time frame's not the best. Look for that daily to cross up. This would be a swing trader's dream, right? If that daily can cross, you have a good confirmation for upside. That's a swing trade right there. But I think the environment we're in right now is a little fishy. I'm not going to be trading too much. I'm just chilling with you guys, trying to help out however I can, but the signals are just telling you like something funky is going on. I've never seen signals look like this. XLU is just tanking and the market just keeps going higher. This is just the rigged market that we're playing. And at a major top, most likely, yeah, we are going to see some kind of rigged moves actually. But I think if the whole AMC GME thing was not going on, we wouldn't see it like this at all. I don't think we would see the market like this. I think it would be completely different right now, right? I think if the AMC GME thing wasn't happening, we probably would have seen like a dip down like this, and then it would have built up like this, and then we would have went like this, and then it would have been like this, and then we would have found that top. But because they had to hold, they had to dedicate a lot of volume, a lot of liquidity to AMC and GME, forcing that thing down. I think they were able to just like hold it sideways. And that's why it seems very, very rigged at these levels. So XLU has called a lot of the major tops. But in this scenario, we're seeing a huge difference than the past. But what I'm saying is the SPY can easily do this. It creates the divergence. It still kind of has it if it wants to give it up today too. But it has divergence at these levels. And XLU had the rejection divergence at this level as well. The reason you look at utilities is because when it sees a major run up, that's when you pay attention to it. So we did a video where we went back in the past and we saw the major run up and then the signal that formed and then it crashed. And shortly after, which technically from the rejection right here, that was June 4th. We're only a week from that. Okay, so it could take, I think I said it's like sometimes it takes up to 2 weeks, sometimes it takes 3. Okay, we've noticed that actually lately it's been happening very, very spot on. And then all of a sudden things just go the opposite direction, right? So you want to see if things are different. The way that this could be different is if XLU actually crossed up and recovered, then we could say, okay, this makes a little more sense, but it is not. That's the point here. This is still a crash signal. It's just we're seeing some very rigged behavior in the shorter time frames. So this is how we caught that. We know it wants to follow XLU because we caught that right there. But now XLU did this. And what did it do? Well, the GME AMC problem forced them to keep it up higher. They had no liquidity to distribute right here. They had no volume in these moves. So that just tells me they didn't want to bring the market down. It wasn't the right move for them in some way. And so that's how I'm reading into it. Am I trading based on that info yet? I'm just waiting for this daily to cross over. If that daily crosses over, your boy's buying volatility or something. Your boy's probably buying SQQQ, SPXS, something. I'm going to do something. They're naked short selling. So they are selling more shares than exist in the actual stock at a huge level. And they don't even own those shares. So they are forcing the stock down by short selling. Yo, property tax is such the most rigged thing ever. I can't believe it. I can't believe we did that. even property tax, okay, like the fact that you get taxed to work, like you work and then you pay to work, that to me is very fishy. Like I've paid it all the time, right? I always pay my taxes, but that one's really fishy. And then it's like, oh, you bought a piece of property, but you don't own the property because you're still paying property tax. Taxes just make no sense, really, the way that we do them. You know that business people did not make the taxes. You know that political figures make the taxes because they screw it up so much. Oh God, you shorted Apple. Oh God. I'd be very freaking careful, man. That is a parabolic, bubbly move. This is why we manage risk, guys. My goodness. Managing risk came in way down here. That's very good. On a 30-minute, on a 15-minute, it was earlier. But shit. Amazon. Where's the weekly expected move for Amazon? You're still not at the weekly expected move. I'd like it to get there. But I see what you're saying. Like, as far as it goes, it's like the daily has crossed up. If that crosses down, that's not going to be good. You have potential for like a weird head and shoulders or just some kind of divergence forming up in these areas. Because the weekly expected move is above you a little bit. So to me, it would make sense for them to just go to where they expect it and then just rip it away from people. But right now, we're seeing that call volume start to pick up. Volatility still didn't roll over on the daily. Interesting. It's trying to hold up here. That's giving it up. XLU looks ass-like. So this is where Tesla kind of has to get through. It has to break through this right here. Pretty much it's right at it. If it breaks through, it can continue to see that positivity, causing a 2-hour to kind of curl up. I'm just like, I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, like just so you know what I'm doing in a market like this, I'm not trading any of this. I will not be trading any of this, guys. Being honest about it. Like everyone wants to find a trade every single day. Like, look what I'm doing. Like, technically, I could literally go away, not make a YouTube video for probably like the last 3 days and been like, okay, now we can start to look at the market after this data comes out today. We can start to look at it, say, tomorrow, once we see what GME and AMC does. But as of right now, I'm just telling you guys straight up, I'm not trading any of this. I refuse. I refuse. It's just risking my money at this point. Because I don't, like I said in my video last night, we don't know, from what I've seen with GME and AMC, they can just trade stocks at different values in dark pools, right? And then they just send our trades to dark pools and put whatever the stock price they kind of want to hit the tape out there. So I'm like, if they're going to do that, then that's just a completely rigged system, and the stock could be trading at a completely different level than even I know. So it could be trading up here, it could be trading down here. This could just be a fault, like a glitch, and it could be trading down here. AMC and GME, we know GME was trading up towards these levels up here. We saw all those tape hit, we saw it hit. And then we see AMC. AMC was trading up towards 650. So it's just like, if I know the market is like that, what am I going to turn into? Me personally, I'm going to turn into an investor. I'm going to most likely turn into an investor. That's my plan. I've been a great trader. I think it's awesome, but I see this environment and I see the system that I'm kind of feeding into. I don't like it. I'm like, I'll just invest because I can play their game with investments very easily. I don't need to stress myself out every single day, but I'm going to teach you guys how to invest with these strategies. And I love being here. So I'm planning on staying, at least for now, I'm planning on staying, but I just want to be very honest with you guys. All of this behavior has put a very bad taste in my mouth. Like this is worse behavior. This is worse behavior than this top. This is worse behavior than these tops. This top up here, it's worse behavior than this top. Look at the flow of this. This one made sense, right? This is what overall should happen, but we ended up not doing this part, this part, this part. Look at that. We get the drop, we squeeze for a bit, now we kind of hover like this, and instead of dropping like XLU1 and then we go back up, we just never dropped. We went like this because of the volume. Because the volume, they just did not want to give it to you. They didn't want to give you that pullback, and so you just don't get to understand it with the indicators here and see that cross up. That's what I'm saying. This one was this right here, the top of 2021 and into 2022 was less rigged. Right? We see this, we see the pullback, we see the big run up, we dip down, we dip back up, we dip back down. Okay, awesome. We pull it over to here. Okay, we see the big run up. Okay, we dip way down, we pop back up, we dip back down. Barely? Like this is just squeezing. What should have happened is we pop up, we pop back down, we pop up, we pop back down, we go. But it's not flowing at all. It's just going like this. It's just going like this. You could even say this run up right here, right? You can say this run up. Runs up, dips down, runs up, sits. It's just not, it's not good behavior, especially on the shorter time frames. Because XLU, you know, the last time if you go look at 2022, XLU, we followed that pretty well. Right now, you're just not. You're like, I don't want to. Like, they're like, we don't want stocks to do that. So I just don't respect the stock market anymore. I just don't. And I love doing this stuff. You guys know I'm very passionate about it. I like doing it. I really do. But it's putting a bad taste in my mouth. And part of me really needs to gain some of that trust and passion back, I think, because this has really put a bad taste in my mouth. And I haven't even lost money during it. That's the crazy part. It's like, I just haven't traded it, and I'm seeing it, and I'm seeing how it can affect other people who are trying to trade it. And I'm just telling you guys straight up, like, I'm not trading it. And if I'm not trading it, because I think it's all just a messy mess, if anything, what I would do right now, what I'm thinking about doing, is I'm thinking about taking out a 3-month position. I'm just going to buy crazy shorts somewhere. I'm going to sit and watch the fireworks. That's what I'm thinking about doing. If I'm being genuine. Wait for the VIX at 20. Exactly. See, I can sit and wait for the VIX to be at 20 as well. No, I'd wait for the signal, Joe Jacks. They're slowly pulling out their short positions right now, flipping their positions to long so that they can make back some money. Yeah, I think that's the fact too. I think you're right. They got to hedge their bets now. We've seen, if you go look on Robinhood, someone posted their like Robinhood, they looked at their tier 2 data and it showed there was only buying from hedge funds. There was only buying. Nobody was trying to sell it anymore. Oh, I bet so too, Tom. I don't think they changed the tone. They're still going to be confusing. We might cut, but we're probably not right now. But we still see one rate cut by the end of the year. I'd be most likely we're just going to see more of the same BS. And that's just a confusing thing. I wish they just came out and said nothing. They should just let markets do market things. Let people decide if the company's worth it or not. Just show the data. Don't rig the data. That's it. Don't give me a talk about the data. If the data is saying weak economy, we will know it says weak economy. You know what I mean? When NVIDIA crosses to the downside, let's see what that 30-minute looks like. If it's close to the center line, then... Okay, so if it's able to cross close to the center line, right, then that says negative trend can be there. So that is where your indicator is telling you, hey, negative trend can start. Negative trend can start. Now, that doesn't mean it has to, right? It can turn back around. But if you're being like risk managed and I said, oh, I think NVIDIA goes up from right here, well, my indicator turning down and showing me a red bar is the complete opposite of that thinking. So if it's the complete opposite of that thinking, I need to change my thinking. I need to say, okay, the price of the stock can go down, so why would I say it's going up now? That's what I would overall say about NVIDIA. The thing with NVIDIA is like, I'm just watching it and watching it and watching it and watching it. And I'm just like, you're telling me there was a stock split and you got no fluctuation in price? You got no fluctuation in price? That's crazy to me. I will not touch GME again. You know, people need to know you could have just been like my friend and touched GME once and then just leave it there. That's what he's doing. He's like, I'm just going to leave it there. I'm like, yeah. He's like, so what do I have to do? I'm like, well, technically, people say the best strategy is just to buy it and you just hold it. And then if it happens, cool. If it doesn't, then you might lose, like, you know, some of your money. And then he's like, oh, so I just have to hold it? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, why are people freaking out then? You just have to hold it. I'm like, yeah, well, people try to do options and people try to do all kinds of crazy shit. When really it's just pretty simple from an investment standpoint here. The monthly crossed up, hold, that's what you do with an investment. You buy it and you hold it. Okay, done. Then you have no, like, you're just like, cool the whole time. It literally makes the emotion just completely out of it. Literally just what he did. He bought it at, I think, where did I tell? I think he bought it right here at like 26. He goes, oh, cool. And I just, and he came up with it himself. I didn't even have to tell him. I was like, yeah, the people who hold it, they just wait for the moment to happen. If you're just holding the stock, you have no time against you. And he's just like, oh, so I just hold it. I'm like, hey, you do what you want to do, man. And then he goes, okay. And then I go, but maybe like calculate a price that would be good enough amount of money for you to make and put a stop sell in there, like a sell order, sell limit. And he goes, oh, I think I'm going to do $100. So then he goes up here, he places a limit sell at $100, and he has not looked at the chart since. He just sits there. He doesn't care. Yeah, so he's like, and that's it too. He understands that too. And he's like, what's the risk? I go, well, the risk is you lose all of it. And he goes, oh, so I shouldn't put like a bunch of money in it? I'm like, exactly. Holy crap, when you talk to someone who has completely like not looked at charts, not greedy, not trying to make a bunch of money fast or anything, he's just like, oh, okay. Maybe I'll do like $500. I go, hey, do however much you want, but the risk is they want it to go to zero. So you could lose it all. Most likely you don't, because most people are holding the stock. It maybe goes down to like $15, you lose like half. And he goes, oh, okay, sick. That's it. But options, you have time against you. Time is not your friend. Time is not your friend. If you're doing options, you have to pay attention to momentum. You have to pay attention to when momentum is coming down. Right here, momentum is going up. Awesome. It's green. Crossed. Green, positive territory. Right here, pull back. So momentum is now right here going down. And look at that, it goes down. Nothing is tricky about this. It's really not. If you think, just make it really, really simple. Where is it right now? It's starting to go positive, so technically it's bullish. If that crosses, it's down. That means it's going to go down. If this crosses down, this goes down. If it crosses back up, it goes up. That's it. If you can dumb it down, right? If you can really dumb it down, make it very, very simple. They try to complicate it. You're going to read a bunch of headlines, blah, 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 blah. Did I have to read any headlines right here to know, like, hey, I should maybe get in right here? No, I just say, hey, I let the MACD indicator tell me what to do. And I'm just the voice of the MACD indicator. PLTR. Palantir. Ooh, Palantir setting up a good 30-minute divergence here. It's pretty spread out. I wonder if it's on a 2-hour as well. It is on a 2-hour as well. You have 2-hour and 30-minute divergence at the same time here. Watch out if the 30-minute crosses over. That's what the MACD is telling you here. It's pretty close to that center line, guys. It's pretty close to that center line. Not saying it has to be the moment. This is a time where it can happen. We're just in case kind of people. We just follow the signals. Same thing we just said about AMC and GME. Right here it crossed. What does that mean? Positive territory, positivity. Awesome. If it crosses down, what does that mean? Bad things. It means pullback. But if that crosses the center line, it starts to mean more than a pullback could happen. And you have a 2-hour divergence at the same time. This is actually a good trade setup. I wonder how much the options are. Wow. Wow, 16 days out, I can get at the money for almost $50 to $70 a contract. That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. There you go. So perfect entry. But all right, PLCR, what you doing here, homie? Look at your stuff. Give me a sec. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay. All right, we'll get that set up just in case something happens here. It's a good setup. I like it. 30-minute divergence. I'm going to wait for confirmation, but I have the order set up right in front of me. Good, good, good. It could see it in 16 days. It could. PLCR, it could. Right? This could see it in 16 days, you might say, right? But I see a 30-minute divergence and a 2-hour divergence at the same time. Now, I'm not saying this has to give up. I'm saying this might get a pullback here. I think a pullback comes for Palantir over the next couple weeks. And then we'll talk about if that's basing out. But right now, I'm seeing 30-minute divergence. I'm seeing 2-hour divergence. None of it's completed, so I have the order ready. But oh, Pfizer? I'm gonna look at Pfizer. That looks like a good setup. You have 2 divergences at the same time. Oh, God, Pfizer, you look like garbage there. Ooh, daily divergence up here at the top. Confirmed on this bar right here. Downside was chosen. We could probably see some bouncing here. Like a 15-minute, if that can start to shift back around, but your direction is down. Nothing is bullish about this right now. 30-minute crossing over. 2 hours still pointing down. Daily still pointing down. Still positive. We can see a turnaround at the 50. We'll see. But as of right now, the only real reversal you may have going for you is this 30-minute divergence that's forming. You'll see from there. But yeah, I don't necessarily like the look of this. I don't think this is a very clear trade setup. I think Palantir is a pretty clear trade setup. I love looking at Palantir, looking at that. Like if you can look at it on multiple time frames and it's gonna look like divergence on almost every time frame. If you can get one of these to complete, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. So Now 5 minutes, kind of what I'm paying attention to. I'm seeing if there's like some kind of pullback and rotate up. But as of right now, I'm thinking that this is going to see some kind of pullback here. Probably down to like $22, something like that. Just gotta wait. Just gotta wait. Just gotta be patient. Patience is key. It's got to stop. Our country's done. Yeah, you're starting to do things in the country that can cause a lot of the little people to be pissed off, and the little people, there's a lot more of them. I'd be very careful pissing off little people. Neo? Someone asked about Neo. What did we say about this? Let's see here. It looks like possible double bottom coming in right now, but that direction has been chosen. I've talked about this in the past, the 30-minute. I like to see signals like this. Do you see this signal, how it's very up at the same time? Okay, that leads to bounces like this one. These don't really lead to sustainable bounces. You're very deep into negative territory. Here, you're a little closer. Back in the past, over here, you see this very steep one right here for the double bottom. This one led to the big run up because you're able to go positive. As of right now, this is not the best look. It's just not the best look. I do not see a trade set up there. Sure, you can see bounces, right? We can see 2 hours crossing up, but look how deep it is. That could just cross up for a little bit and cross right back down. The direction has been chosen, so I think if you do see a bounce, it's going to be a 2 hour curling up and curling right back down, if that ever curls up. Excuse me. Come on, Sid. AMC and GME are pulling back. Yeah, so we have to pay attention if 30 minutes start to cross over. If 30 minutes start to cross over, it's not the moment. And those can go negative. So that's kind of risk management there. Yeah, and I heard a politician make a great argument. He's like, why even charge people taxes? If you're just going to keep printing money and keep weakening the dollar and keep forcing them into bad wages, then why even charge taxes? Just don't charge taxes and print the exact amount of money that you want. And I was like, damn, that is a cold-blooded way to put it. Has NVIDIA broke out of the range? Probably, 4%, probably. There's the breakout. Now, we don't necessarily have good ranges for today, but we can pay attention to, hey, we said, what if it creates a triple divergence, right? And now we're going to create that. We'll see what happens by the end of this, but shorting the top is very, very difficult, guys. Like Palantir, that's not a top, right? That's more of just a regular top. It's not a major top. Shorting major tops is very difficult, especially when they're rigging it how they are. AMD not able to confirm anything up yet, staying below 160. Very interesting there. Google really starting to top out there. Microsoft probably going to top out soon. My goodness, that thing is just ripping. Apple probably insane still. But XLU, it dropped way off. Like I said, I'm chilling. I'm not thinking of taking any big plays. Sure, I might look back and forth at PLTR. Because I like that look right now. So I'm going to see if this 30-minute can curl over. That can tell me, hey, there might be a 2 hour pullback. See how the 2 hours up here? So all I'm saying is I'm going to see if this gets some kind of pull back, and then I'll be like, okay, cool. Boom, pulls back like that, and then we're good to go. Then we can talk about risk management there. It just, this is not something that will go up forever. There are pullbacks. See how there are pullbacks? I think we could see that again, if not some kind of reversal in trend. So probably take this, cut out that. Now, this is very, very speculative on this triangle, right? Because you only have one bar. But just looking at a 30-minute, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Looking at an hourly, you're going to see the same thing. Very clear. This is very clear, and the hourly is very close to going negative here. Notice up here, the hourly is not able to go negative. You're far away. Curls up again. Now you have divergence. That can go negative. So we have the opportunity now to see something worse happen. So that's what I think what's going on with Palantir here. And we said that that thing would run up. Now it's running up. Now we say, hey, this is looking like a pullback at least is coming for a 2-hour chart. Apple, you can't tell if that's the top. That is a rigged move. That is a rigged move. You cannot tell when this is the top. I would say it does have a 68% chance to come back below this area right here by Friday close. And we get a lot more data the rest of the week. Go for the cheap, guys. GME was done with their offering. Yeah, they're done with their offering. It took about 3 days for them to build that up. And then now they're sitting on cash. So I think everyone's waiting for tomorrow to see if they are going to announce any companies they are going to acquire or merge. If you get a pullback, the best case scenario for you to get the best pullback is you see the 30-minute cross down, and then that like crosses right back up. That crosses down, crosses back up. When you see these crossings closer to the center line, that's the good times, right? And I want to show you the last time, right? The last time it was here. And look at that run up. That's great. The last time it was here. Look at that run up. It's great. So the 30-minute will tell you when momentum is shifting. That's why we don't necessarily want it to curl down. If you're still looking now and that 30 minutes not able to curl down, well, then a 15-minute pullback would be solid. AMC, like, right? The 15-minute pullback, that would be solid. Whoa! 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 Yeah, this has the daily divergence. So daily divergence, that daily momentum took over. Boom, boom, big move up there. Solid move, very solid move. Leads to recovery right now. So as of right now, you'd say, hey, a pullback is likely at some point, but you're getting that in the wick right now. So you know that these 15 minutes just cooked. This right here was able to cross back over at the end of the day. So the MACD on the 15 minute told you direction's up. So we'll see if that's able to pull back. I'm not going to chase anything. GME not even curling over on a 15-minute. Jeez. I need a soundboard. I need a soundboard. I will never financially recover from this. Get the Tiger King in here or whatever. This is the area, guys. This is the area. This is where I think this is the most potential to have resistance as of today. Changes every day. Who are these guys buying today? Most likely people who are listening to, say, a Jim Cramer or something, but this is exactly what they want. Now they've tricked the market. They've officially tricked the market. They caused major buying. They pumped stocks higher. They're getting people excited. I think that even the insiders, I think, maybe even pump the stock market higher here just to get people excited because now you're seeing huge call volume. I'm going to go use the restroom real quick and I will be right back. Okay, I'll be right back. Let me use the restroom real quick.
Louis, can you come in early tomorrow, please? I need to unload AIG and Countrywide and Freddie Mac positions so that we can afford the premiums on the core mortgage shorts on the swaps.
No problem, Dr. Berry. Dr. Berry? If the investors withdraw, what's going to happen here? Are we done?
Honestly, I don't know. The bonds aren't going down. They won't move. It's possible that we are in a completely fraudulent system.
Or you're wrong.
Sure. It's possible I'm wrong. I just don't know how. I guess when someone's wrong, they never know how.
That's right now for me. Listen to how he feels at the moments he thinks we're in a completely fraudulent system. It's possible, or he's wrong. That's kind of how we are right now. It's possible that we are in a completely fraudulent system, or we're wrong. And the thing is, I usually know exactly how to know how I'm wrong. I am very quick to admit when I'm wrong, but I don't see it. I don't know how. So, I'm not going to back down. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm not going to back down. That's it. I've been thinking of that clip every single day since all this nonsense has started. I've been thinking of that little clip right there. That's the clip that plays in my head over and over and over and over. And I think I'm right. It's just like I say a lot of the time. I think I'm right, but maybe if this crosses over, maybe it's just not right now. Maybe the timing is a little bit off. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed a little movie clip today. Really appreciate it. Hey, Mr. Wynn, thank you so much for the $1.99. I really do appreciate it. I'm sorry I missed that donation. Wolf of Wall Street. Wolf of Wall Street. Shorting the top is very, very hard. It's much easier to buy something and hold it. Timing is everything. And you notice his timing was off, and look at what it's putting him through. That's all I gotta say. I might be right. I just might not be right now. There was good CPI data, John. Very good CPI data. It came in cooler. So now everyone's banking on the rate cuts. So if we just don't get rate cuts by the end of the day, and PCC is dropping, yeah, dramatically. It's down to 0.7. This is exactly what they want. This is the recipe. Now they need a reason so they don't get in trouble for dropping the market. Last time they just ripped the market. They didn't give a shit. Yeah, I think I'm in the mentality of him, and I've felt that way for a while now. I've thought of that clip over and over and over again. And I just think to myself, if I am wrong, I can't see how. I cannot see how. I can't see how I'm wrong here. And that's it. That's it. Rate cut today would crash the market? We'll see. Actually, we'll see, Carlos. That's a good point. The reaction to the rate cut or a rate staying the same is going to be the thing, right? We would say the rate cut has to be priced in by now, right? Look at this move up. Like, the rate cut has to be priced in. So we could sell the news event. We'll have to see. I'm going to play some tunage. What should we go with today? I feel like a little change up. You guys ever heard of Big Booty Mix? By two friends? by two friends. Welcome to Big Booty Land. Video, I'm thinking 130 looks pretty ugly, but Apple's screaming. Way outside of the weekly expected move. AMC, 30-minute. It's about to cross. This is where it has to hold up, AMC. AMC has to hold up at this level. Oh. What are you doing? What are you doing, AMC? Let me see you for a sec. Do I risk manage here? I go with nah. Nah, that's what they want me to do. Bum 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 bum. Guess who's back? Uh-oh. Alright. We're gonna do it. Little bit, roll it up, take a hit, feeling lit, feeling like 2 a.m. summer night. I don't care, hand on the wheel, driving drunk, I'm doing my thing. I went it up inside and out. Get my chain. A piece of your heart, you want you up to get it down, down, down. But don't really touch, it's never enough. I want you up to get it down, down, down. Follow me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. You said this looks like a job for me. Little hellions, a bitch feeling rebellious, Samaris, a Paris Elvis, and Elvis. Alright, we're working here. Something's about to break. LJM's just like, something about to break. Yeah. It's very unlikely for them to be like that, but they haven't changed. And they're still not in a place where inflation is fully taken care of, so we'll see. I'm telling you, I told you this would take time. It takes time. It takes time, but I'm not gonna let them think I'm crazy. That's exactly what they want me to think. So I'm gonna put my balls into this right now, and I'm gonna take a trade if we hit that red line. I said. Has that 30-minute cross, motherfuckers? Hasn't. What about this one? Hasn't. Sorry, you guys aren't MFers. You guys aren't MFers. You guys aren't MFers. You guys are great. I'm confused what Apple is doing. Apple is being put at a price that they decide it's worth. And they're probably convincing people to buy at these levels, considering the PCC level is way down here at 0.72. It's exactly what they want. Sometimes you just gotta put on the vibes, you know? I'm gonna take a very risky play if this happens and we hit this red line, and I'm not gonna look back. I'm gonna say volatility is gonna scream higher, and I'm gonna do a volatility play. And I'm gonna buy 20 contracts. I'm going as short as I'll allow myself to do with the with my strategy, 2 weeks. That looks like a lower high, or a higher low. Could see a move. The hourly looks like it's probably, yeah, if the hourly crosses over, bad. If the daily can roll up, that'd be good. Has it rolled up? Is it rejecting? It's rejecting, so it's kind of with you there. 2 hour just crossed a little bit ago, but maybe you need a little like 30-minute pullback or something. I'd be careful while this 30-minute might pull back, right? If that pulls back, and then see if that rotates back up, that'd be maybe a bullish thing, but you're still in bullish context here right now. I'm taking VIX calls, yep. All you gotta do is turn on some big booty music to make you think straight. You know what I'm saying? Think straight. Big booties. Well, I guess gay people probably like big booties too. Respect to the gays, whatever. If you like booty, I like booty too. You can only be on the receiving end. Na 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 na. Has this 30-minute crossed over yet? No. Has this 30-minute crossed over yet? No. It's still green. Just telling you what the MACD says. In no way is saying pullback yet. Not saying pullback yet. Sure, it's pulling back, but your MACD is not saying anything, man. It's just saying, hey, consolidation is what this means. Every time that I like May. Yeah. Friday, 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 Saturday, Sunday. Thanks for the cheaper price on the VIX calls. I'll take them. July 3rd. Your boy here is going to go June 28th. How do you think Apple will go? I think that eventually the rug will be pulled. Maybe one more move, right? Maybe one more like this. But I'm not liking this look. Maybe I, It's the perfect setup for a rug pull. You're not gonna fool me. It's not allowed. This is the area. We talked about it early this morning, an hour before the open. This is the area. All the percentages are with me now. To the honor of my own. To. It's rigged. All right, Tesla. Hey, you can gain some ground back there. There you go. That's what you need to do. You need to burst through. Still negative on the 30-minute, but the 2-hour crossing up would be a good sign that that could recover. But it's just going into the liquidity. That kind of invalidates, but... And you're not really making a handle, you're seeing recovery. I took VIX calls. Never said night. Never gonna have a good night. I just wanna have a good night. You guys wanna hear the tunes?
Let him go. You could have anybody, any money, more. Cause when you were boss, you could do what you want.
Well, I was sitting waiting, wishing you believe in superstition.
Oh yeah, I used to sing in front of a bunch of people. Yes, let's just play as two. I hate this song. Yeah, cause girls is players too. I hate that language so much. I use YouTube. I just have YouTube Premium. I don't really like Spotify, but I have YouTube Premium. If you guys want to hear this, type Two Friends Big Booty Mix Volume 24. It's a guy that they make songs that are they make mashups that are an hour long. So you just sit and you listen for an hour. It's awesome. And I don't care about the old folk. Talking about the old stuff too. Man, I don't know, guys. I'm pretty scared for AMC and GME. Let me see. I'm pretty scared right now. Hold on. Let me see. I'm pretty scared. Let me see. Oh, wait. That doesn't fucking cross over. I'm fine. Never mind. GME. Oh, that hasn't crossed over. I'm good. If that crosses over, different story. If it doesn't, we're still in business, folks. Still in business. Yeah, I need some bandages. Should I show up tomorrow with a black eye and a bunch of bandages? All of my my wife was a big cosplayer. She had like tens of thousands of followers just like me, but I was not a cosplayer. She was a cosplayer who did like crazy stuff. I'd show you, but then you guys would all think she's hot, so I don't want to do that. I'm a newbie to TradingView. I am trying to locate and set up my screen the same as yours. Can you go through exact? Yeah, we go through in the course, but if you want to add indicators, really all you need to do is click the indicators tab up here. Click the indicators tab and just type MACD RSI and then add both of those. And then this is the other one I use. That's it. That's all you got to do. And then your setup should be good. I think I use basic settings. Yeah, definitely don't do that, bro. Yeah, I'm good with not doing that. Yes, I am in GME and AMC. I am in both. And I'm jacked to the tits. I figured, why get worried when I could be excited? Why get worried about anything? Why get worried? The 30 minutes with me. Why get worried? Think how far we've come, you know? Think how far we've come. Why both GME, not GMC, GME and AMC? They both have the problem. Like, and people come in, they think I'm like, I'm absolutely like 100 grand into this stuff. No, I have like 3 grand into it. Now, this play, I'm going to have a decent amount in. This play, I'm going to have a decent amount in. If the SPY comes back down, I'm going to take a decent play here. I'm going to manage it still, always. I'm a trader. I'm going to manage it. You can. Yeah, you can short the pops. That's fine. I don't hate on anyone who wants to try to trade back and forth. I'm not going to hate on you at all. You do you. I've seen the rigged market, and I'm all for it. I've never seen the market this rigged in my entire trading career, so this is more rigged than the last top. Like, this is way more rigged. Where's your 200 million? I wish I had 200 million. No, the slow way is the fast way, guys. I'm still a believer. The slow way is the fast way. This is going to be the big, it's going to be a decent sized position, but it's not going to be enough that I can't, you know, I'm going to risk manage it. Everything's fine. I'm just going to start to put my money where my mouth is on this. I'm not going to sit back. This is where I think it would be. Outside the monthly, outside the weekly, hitting up towards the daily, put call ratio at 0.7. Dollar, you know, everyone's going to say, hey, yeah, it's going lower. That's totally cool. But ever since December, it's been going higher. So all these things tell me something fishy's happening here. And so I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to manage the trade. That's it. I'm still waiting. Still waiting. Still waiting. I want to see that reaction to JP. Right now they take it to maybe 550. And I'm prepared to scale. Ooh, PayPal. I'm down to look at PayPal. All right. If the daily on PayPal is able to cross over, I think you break the 200 for PayPal. If it doesn't, then you got a shot for something, right? But this 2 hour needs to curl back up. So if you want that head and shoulders, gotta see that 2 hour turn back up. If that never turns back up, you might be in trouble there. But if you're reacting, right, you're not necessarily taking the trade early or anything. I see what you're saying. It makes sense. I like the thinking there. I just want confirmation of the move is all I'm saying. So I'd pay attention to 2 hour curling up, daily rolling down. Because if the 2 hour curls up, then that daily is not going to roll down. But if the 2 hour keeps going negative, then that daily does have a shot to roll down. But I like it. You're looking at the right stuff. I like it. This is growing up. It's not a perfect head and shoulders, by the way. This is not a sign of a perfect head and shoulders. This right here. This is not a perfect head and shoulders anymore. That right there is not a perfect head and shoulders. But it is a head and shoulders. It's just not a perfect one because you have a fake out. Okay? Now that's not to say anything bad about it. It's still there. It's not perfect. And head and shoulders is one of the ones that rips people apart the most. Because you could do this. You could just go up, and then during the retest, you fail the retest, and that just goes down. So it's fine. I think it's still a good look. I'm just saying what I would look for. I would look for a 2 hour to curl up, and then I know, hey, that's got a shot. I would think that's the move. If it has a 2 hour curl up, it's got a shot. Don't you head out that antidote? Ooh, 2 hour curling up for Tesla. Uh-oh. Parabolic. AMD really struggling. 2 hour curls up. I'm loving this play right now. If 2 hour curls up, did it get the 5 minute pullback? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, it's not the best pullback in the world, but it's a nice little scoop down. That's a nice little scoop down. If that crosses up, well, at least this 30 minute ain't gonna be crossing. I got 99 prawns, but a bitch ain't one. All right, so same thing goes for here. 5 minute. It's probably down by the center line. If that curls up, then the 30 minute can't cross over. If the 5 minute's going up, 30 minute can't cross over. Oh, it's slanted down to 58. Yeah, I did it kind of quick, so maybe you're seeing it a little better. You can press fast forward. It's good structure, Northwestern. It is good structure. It's just you got one fake out that makes it a little bit like, eh. And then after that, I would just say, if you ignore that one part right there, then you would say, hey, if the 2 hour curls up, it's got a shot to break it. So I like it. It looks good. I would just say if the daily crosses over, with how the environment of the market looks right now, across the board, I would say there's more likely downside moves coming. But that is where you have to pay attention to if I'm wrong, right? If I'm wrong, then that'll say, which that's just an opinion. It has nothing to do with the chart yet. If the daily crosses over, I'm likely to be right. But if the 2 hour crosses up, I'm completely wrong. And that's why you pay attention to both sides. That's what I do. Uh-oh, turn back down. Did that 30 minute cross? I don't know when the Tesla shareholder thing is. We can look. Maybe we look. Let's go look. I got this feeling. It says June. Let's see. Tesla annual shareholder meeting will be held on Thursday, June 13th, 2024 at 3:30 p.m. Central Time. So 30 minutes after the close tomorrow is what I'm seeing. Alrighty. My ear, the things you want to feel. I don't like that look. It's not a good look for momentum here. Now, they could just go ballistic like everything else, right? It's whatever they want to do with it. But now they have everyone baited into calls. Just saying. It wouldn't surprise me if we see some kind of pullback here for AMZ and Amazon. What are you doing? See, Meta looks so wonky. Still kind of wonky. Every time you are not around, slowly drifting away. The next 2 hour bar is going to be very important for GME. We'll see if AMC did it yet. I think the next 2 hour bar for there, it's crossing as of right now. Now we'll see how that bar completes. 35 minutes left. 30 minute doesn't cross down. Smooth sailing. I will die for you. Oh god, what did Roaring Kitty post? Hold on, let me pause. Did anyone see this?
I think this just might be my masterpiece.
Well, we're coming back with breaking news because the live stream has finally started. You can see that right there.
All right, now we're
about 28 or so minutes late.
I don't think there's anything in here. I've already seen this clip.
Happen.
He's like, I don't know how to do this thing. That's fun, though. Oh shit, you guys sounded still on, my bad. I didn't see that yet, so that's funny. This is my masterpiece, it's just that terrible fucking thing. For you. Baby, I would die for you. That part's terrible. I'm fast forwarding a little. Hurry, don't have to worry. Why is ISIS trending? ISIS commander captured in Libya, revealed to be Israeli Mossad agent? Interesting. Russian nationals with ties to ISIS in Los Angeles and New York. Oh, fucking A, man. Everything is so crazy out in the world today, man. You know, I haven't wanted. We can do it real big. Bigger than you ever done it. I can spit whenever, honey. Cause they on me down every time I leave her. It does it right on top of it, don't leave her. Remember, we're gonna get ripped around today, though. So if we do see a big drop, just remember we still have JPAL. We still have all that info coming out at like 1 p.m. Central Time. Take it easy. The volatility of the volatility is remaining up higher. Interesting. To the rock away. I'm leaning back, leaning back, leaning back. All right, how you guys doing? Hasn't crossed. Hasn't crossed. We're waiting patiently. Ooh, 15-minute curl up. We'll see. We don't piss anyone off. Facts. Yeah, the CPI seemed very, like, it seemed like lower numbers all across the board. What is it? Block? I don't know the ticker. There it is. SQ. Good. Ooh. You faded below this level. That's not a good sign. If my shit can load, why won't it load? So that 2 hour needs to cross up. You see how it needs to cross up? Then I could say, okay, that can go bullish. Hasn't crossed up yet, but 2 hour crosses up, maybe goes bullish. Let's see, daily could rotate up maybe. Daily already's with you right now. Daily momentum's with this move, but I would say better entry would be make sure that 2 hours confirming it. And then you want to be careful with the environment we're in right now, but... Alright, SPY. And a night away. Watch me dance. Oh, what's this bar? Oh wait, do we still have 30 minutes on the 2 hour bar? Yeah, we have 30 minutes on the 2 hour bar. Okay. So this 30-minute bar matters a lot. Look how close it is to crossing. Everything's reversed. Drew's mad. Everyone's mad. I mean, the 2 hour gave you the divergence for the play. Then you get the pullback immediately. This is why you wait for that entry. You don't try to chase it because sometimes you miss out on it, right? The crossing was here. Yeah, you got a little upside, risk managed back in. Okay, there's the big move. Now you just want to see, like, is this rotating up daily charts? Daily momentum's with you as of today. So that's usually a good sign. We look across the way here. Technically, you have daily divergence down here too, so that's telling you daily divergence. Now it's below the 200. Be a little careful with it, but you have daily divergence here. Little bit far away from the center line for the daily, but looks like you're getting some kind of pullback. But if that crosses, that's momentum saying it can shift up. You want to manage your risk there. Ooh. Yeah, 2 hour crossed in the pullback for now. Still, it's a contrarian indication, right? So 2 hour isn't a pullback. If that can turn back up, that would be a good sign. 30 minutes really going negative here. If daily crosses over, you're going negative, so just be careful here. But you're in a decent area here. We'll see. This could be a liquidity grab. Pay attention to that 2 hour rolling back up. I just think we always have to zoom way in. How am I yawning? I got sleep last night. Why am I yawning? Yo, I'm crushing it for you guys. You're welcome. Congratulations, Bill. Come on, Apple, one more dollar. Let's go. Get that dollar for laws out there. GME, I'm gonna be real. I would hope tomorrow you get above 41.17. I hope you gap above it. I would love to end at, say, 35, and then it gaps above 41. That'd be a great sign. But we'll see. My prediction is if you're going to see some kind of squeeze, right now you're bullish because 30-minute has not crossed down. This hasn't crossed down, right? So you're bullish right now on the 30-minute. Daily scale is rejecting the cross, so daily you're bullish as well. 2 hour you're everywhere you're bullish pretty much. Now the big thing is if you get above 41.17 and 47.57, then you can be off to the races unless it gets suppressed. They do not want this stock to close above 41.17 by the end of the week because all the short positions in this area might be going way under, might get margin called, might get all kinds of things. AMC, similar thing, but 633 is where you need to get above for that to happen as well. Sorry about your ears. That was my pit bull. His bed's like right there. He must have heard something. I'm sorry, that probably scared the crap out of people. I'm so sorry. No, that was my pit bull. He's a guard dog. He's a guard dog. Oh, he's fine. He was more just like sounding the alarm. That's not his vicious bark. That's his warning bark. Pit bulls are great. I'm surprised my husky German shepherd, I'm surprised he didn't bark. Usually they just growl. He's roaring! He's a roaring kitty pit bull. I thought it was my stomach growling. Another love. Screaming down on oil? Like USO or what which one are you doing? Ooh, 30-minute divergence. Ooh, that's not a good look there. 30-minute divergence can rotate this over. Oil might be heading down. Now, you got to pay attention. It's in a point of liquidity. Make sure it's not going to turn back up, but negative territory. Not the best look there. GME not crossing up on the 2 hour just yet. Still gotta watch this 30-minute. Roaring pity. Oh, I like it. Fed releases info at 1 p.m. Central Time, so 2 hours before close, and then they talk at 1:30, an hour and a half before close. M3 fam. I like that. 75.59. It could. Yeah, you just want I like to make sure my indicators are telling me that resistance is curling. I'm fucking oil up right now. Congratulations, Bill. That's awesome. I've been driving down this road too long. What's the SPY doing? Just gonna sit there all day, isn't it? How many calls can we get in this? I'm more than a plane, more than a pretty face. Sort of train, and it's not easy to be me. All right, Q's. We did it, guys. I'm just waiting for my little signal here. I need some kind of reason. Give me a reason to short this fucking market. Well, give me a reason to take a call on volatility is the better way to put it. TLT's at its weekly expected move, so he's probably going to say no rate cuts and then this drops down. There's a sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, there's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs, but he keeps on forgetting. Triple divergence on hourly for NVIDIA. If I really want to be a douche, I short NVIDIA. Everyone's mind calls. Not worth. It's not worth. Not worth. I think there's a dog outside barking. Alan doesn't, or Bruce doesn't like it. He's like, hey, don't come over here. That hourly's starting to go into bullish territory there. AMC curling up on that 2 hour. We've got about 19 minutes left here. We need to see probably an upward move in the next like 30 minutes after this. So we need 2 bars here. We have 2 bars to decide what's going to happen. Dow Jones, thank you for paying attention to that for us. That's not the prettiest look, man. Now, it's positive on the 15, but that's not cup and handle anymore. 30-minute curls down. Ooh, if that 2 hour is not able to confirm upside, it might reject. Uh-oh, 2 hour. Where are you going? Where you going, volatility? You give me a higher low? I'm down. IWM screaming up. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Give me that divergence, AMC. Give it to me. I'm ready. Let's go. Still not at its weekly expected move, though, for Amazon. Num dum. 30-minute hasn't crossed. 15 minutes getting close to it. So now you need this 15 minutes to start confirming up. You got a little bit of time left. Okay. Whoa. 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 Ooh, that faded real quick in this little zone. Ooh, ooh. That ain't crossing. Two hour momentum is solid, man, if it can get it. Mama like a wagon wheel, rock me, mama, any way you feel. Breaking Citron Research, Andrew Leff says he will probably short it again if GameStop hits back to the 45 to 50 range. So he's going to short it again at $45 or $50, which is right in here in that. They don't want it to go above here. This is where they unexpected would start to short the crap out of it. Oh yeah, we're looking at it. We're looking at it. Is that where his stop is? Yeah, it's all a bad recipe, isn't it, Q? But they can rig it. That's why my video last night was very like, it's a toxic market. So it's just a completely opposite of what should be happening, and that's perfectly fine. We knew it would be a difficult one. Now we're starting to see some cracks, but remember, this is just a crack. Like, this is just a little selling. We expect selling up here, right? The big thing is, why do we sell off here? Do we sell off and turn back up and then turn back down? That's more what we need to be paying attention to today. But that's not a good look. But they're at an area. They could rug pull it at any time. I think they want to build up as many calls as they can, though. GME is starting to rise and the market's starting to fall. Nvidia's starting to fall while GME rises. This is the recipe. And you look, this is starting to rise too. It's not crossing. If these start to rise and Nvidia and the market starts to fall, something could be going on. Now, I still think we have data this afternoon that it could throw a wrench in everything, okay? So let's not think too aggressively into that. But they've officially baited everyone into calls. Most people into calls. That would be the way to put it. Most people into calls. I'm looking at you, PLTR. I'm looking at you, volatility. You're my targets right now. What's my take? I think that they are rigging the market to hold up higher and we should be at lower prices. My overall take is the market should be trading down towards 520. 520 would make more sense here. I think we were supposed to do this and then build up over time with the data we're about to get. So now with the data we're about to get, if they want to rig the market more, then I think we could just see a completely crazy move. But they could also just do whatever they want with the market. They own the market. They own it now. Now I realize they own it. I've been trading with them. My strategy trades with them a lot of the time, but now that people were not shorting or people weren't taking calls at the right time here, they go, oh crap, okay. Right when this needs to take care of GME and AMC, now slightly giving up. Maybe they need to make some money today to fight it tomorrow. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Did this ever cross? Smooth. Smooth. I think they rug pull it a little bit. Like, I think they drop it and then they send it back up and then you'll see AMC and GME be suppressed again. I think there's one more suppression left in them. I don't think it's all over, but it's a good sign that they're asking for loans. Great move. Exactly. Volatility could be down because most people are buying calls. That's your fear, greed. The fear is sucked out of the market when it's at 12.12. But look at this, the 2 hour crossing up for AMC, very, very good sign. That is 2 hour momentum, a bigger form of momentum coming. The last time that curled up, boom, we just see positivity for a while. The last time that really curled up, ooh, right here, that curled up, boom. 2 hour momentum is strong, but we'll see. GME, it's during market hours. That's the scary part, it's during market hours. GME hasn't curled that up yet, but it's seeing some strength. Never curled over on the 30 minutes, so I know I'm perfectly fine. Pay attention to the options here. Solid. It's up to you. I mean, if you want to say risk managed, if you've made money off the play and you just say, hey, I like the amount of money I've made. That's what I normally think about. I'm like, do I really want to risk it? Would it ruin my day? Would I really be able to make that much more money? Yeah, so what I'm thinking here is for the SPY, if they wanted to, on like a 15-minute, they could have this pull back, right? They could have this do this, and then we get towards 1 o'clock, and then we see that start to bounce, and then we see it go like that. But we'll see. Big volatility coming in. You're in the sell area, so it's not a good place to be for the stock market right now. This is where people can get over leveraged to the upside, and we're seeing that in the PCC. So now they can keep tricking people, though. That's the thing. So we'll see if they keep tricking people, but for now, 15-minute pullback looks likely. Up and away. You don't tell me anyway. So I'll be up and away, cause in the end they'll judge me anyway. So whatever. They means algo, yeah, market makers algo. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, I have to clarify that sometimes, Sloth, my bad. I think AMC is the secret play. I actually do. I really do. I've said why multiple times, but I'm just saying, I think it is. Yeah, that's the Kid Cudi. The key thing is curling up 2 hours. You want 2 hour momentum with you. What happened at the close of XLU? XLU is just saying over and over again, it does not, like, XLU is kind of like a little bit of proof. That is if the correlation is totally negative right now, and that hasn't been the case for a long time. We have the run up, we have everything. This is saying rejection. This is telling me, because we were following XLU to a T, the V shape, we called out this right here, and then we watched live, we said V shape looks likely, V shape. So the fact that that happened and then we saw this drop, we saw the SPY pulling back, and then around here, it just started to go down and SPY started to go up. That seems to be, this is when the AMC GME thing started to be paid to as well. So I'm thinking that the SPY is supposed to be at lower levels, aka down towards 520 right now. It doesn't have to be exact, but it just seems fishy. That's it. Up and away. I thought up and away was a pretty solid choice for the AMC GME move. Spoken. Oh, GME gave it up just a little bit here. The rest. Tesla does. That's the recovery you needed. That is the recovery you needed. Now the 30-minute getting a little cooked. You can see pullbacks there, but the 2-hour hasn't even crossed up yet, so it's looking like it could. But just know, you're just right back within the range. You've seen fake out, maybe another fake out. We'll see. They want to rip money away from retail as much as possible, but we weren't able to break through the low here. Very key thing. AMD doing some weird stuff, man. Trying to go positive. Trying to go positive. Why is the Dow not ripping? The Dow's been leading a lot of moves. Yeah, financials are probably struggling. Okay, so XLF didn't look too bad either, like from a reversal standpoint, but it's just not seeing the strength it needs. The 2-hour divergence here, it's not seeing that strength yet. It's just not seeing it. So the daily, if that's not able to curl up, then you don't get a move for financials. The Dow's going to struggle. The Dow has to curl up on this MACD to go higher. If that 2-hour curls down, it's already curled down. It did not curl back up, so this could just be a rejection. 30-minute, you got another point of divergence here for the 30-minute, but make sure you don't create that handle to head up maybe, or some kind of pullback. It really wouldn't be cup and handle, but pullback for liquidity, head up. Did they make enough money today to fight this stuff? We'll see. It's all about the squeeze. It's more about rigged market behavior, in my opinion, than the squeeze at this point. But the reason that you know that the squeeze has potential is because the rigged market behavior is happening when all of this is coming forward. It's been for the last month. We've seen some very funky moves. PLTR, I think like short term, you got the potential for a pullback. Palantir here. Like if you see the 2-hour divergence here, it hasn't completed. 30-minute divergence is behind it. And if you want to see it clearly, the hourly is pretty clear here. Look at that, it's down. So now you can go into a negative trend. I'm not saying it's like game over. I'm just saying this is what you see when you see a more dramatic pullback. And then you want to see like a 30-minute do something like this to see that reverse back around. But PLTR looks like weakness here in momentum. Now, that's not the right way to put it. PLTR looks like there is weakness in momentum that could confirm, that could happen, because this hasn't even crossed over yet. So you need a 30-minute to really cross over to be like, okay, the chance of going negative is there. Then you could see a little bit more dramatic pullback, maybe even a little deeper than this, and then we see if it's able to reverse back around. But the reason it's worrisome is because you technically have a 2-hour at the same time. If that 30-minute rolls over, it might roll over this 2-hour, but you're still far away from the center line. I'm just worried something's going to be a rug pull at this point, because I know that retail loves to trade Palantir. Still, the other type of moves can happen. It's not like unheard of for it to just get a minor pullback, right? We have to pay attention to the risk there. How you can get screwed, right? What we talk about in the course. Only $100 right now, guys, for the course, down in the description. It probably, like this market right here will teach you like, hey, maybe just stick to the bigger time frames based on the course. And then once volatility goes above 20, it's fucking fantastic. The course will really help you. I would say so. I think the PPI coming in, just because it's supposed to come in lower, is an option there. So if you notice here, today was a good day for the market based on those numbers coming down. PPI now comes in month over month, comes down again. That would maybe get another good reaction from the market. So if they pull the market down, then this bounces the market. Then we'd see what happens next. Michigan consumer sentiment is supposed to go up. So you have a lot of stuff that could be slightly positive actually for the market. So we'll see. And then in the middle of all that, you have AMC and GME problems going on. So it's a fishy time. See if that 30-minute crosses over, guys. Huh. Apparently Fidelity is out there like begging people to let them borrow the shares. I don't know. Sometimes this guy is kind of like he has no proof behind what he says, but that'd be funny. I'm just reading a little. Nothing really there. Oh yeah, you, ooh, 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 ooh. I kind of want this most likely on the 15-minute makes a higher low for GME, but I'd like it to go a little higher up towards 35 before getting a pullback. Like on the 15-minute, you see this? It's pretty high up. So when you get pullbacks, you like to see, like, we like to pull back in this area of 1.8, but we like to go a little higher sometimes. I think I'd like to see this keep leaking forward, then get that dramatic pullback, then maybe it goes back up. So that'd be good. 15 minutes gotta curl up here. This 30-minute could just point down at any time. It's still pointing back up though. Where's CPI? What's the word? Someone goes, hey guys, yesterday they posted, hey guys, today we have 24 hours till another completely made up US CPI number that is as real as unicorns. Yeah, it's crazy. What's the volume like in the SPY still? Did it pick up today or is this light volume? It's a little bit more than yesterday at this time. Still not that much though. Ooh, that's still pretty light volume for the... Now, we gotta wait till the end of the day, obviously, so... See what's happening with that. No crossover on the daily for the volatility here. GME rejecting the cross, that's a good sign. AMC needs to curl back up. It is as of right now, so if this can remain... Starting to get the Bollinger Bands tight again, that's good. We just want that 30-minute not to cross over. If it crosses, that means manage risk. If it crosses back up, that means, okay, cool, positive territory. How close are we? Meditating, nothing is done for me. Just if ever mine, ever mine, ever mine. How you guys doing over there? Unicorn CPI report. US announced they'd found aliens. Nobody believed them, and it all went away. What a fun world we live in. Do you follow Apple? No, I don't. Apple is insane. Schwab, Robinhood, TD Ameritrade, and Fidelity went down during trading hours. What are your thoughts? I think it's all part of the game. I don't think it was a random blip. I think they probably, a lot of those platforms had Apple puts and they wanted to trap people. I would lawyer up if I were you. AMC, GME, will the frenzy end June 21st? Most likely not. You're actually looking at a point where AMC, or GME at least, is potentially getting billions of dollars. And so if they actually acquire the right businesses, they can be worth a lot more and stay worth a lot more. They can be traded like a regular stock. Marks, thank you so much for subscribing. Really appreciate it. Welcome. Still waiting for when bad news isn't good news anymore. Facts. Well, remember, we pay attention to the right things. Unemployment rose last week. Rose just a little bit. That's what they were willing to tell you. I wonder. That should have been posted, right? All the time to keep you up my mind. Ooh. Now it's at 4. Slowly ticking up. This is why I'm still pretty convinced that we're right. I think I'm right. I'm getting proof that I'm right in one side of the tape, not the other. That's the problem. I haven't had the exact proof. 2 crossings now. Good cross of the 2-hour on AMC. The 2-hour crossing up tells you, hey, we can see pullbacks, but as long as that 2-hour remains crossed, 2-hour momentum is with you. 2-hour momentum is with you. Looks like maybe a double bottom in this too, right? It's like crazy, but you get above this, get above 633, it looks pretty good. GME crossing up on the 2-hour. This is saying 2-hour momentum can be with you as long as this remains. You have 2 hours left in the bar. Yeah, I take it on the 30-minute. I take it on the 30-minute if it's close enough to positive territory, and then I just monitor it very closely. That's why I'm staring at 30-minute charts here. Going 30-minute chart, 30-minute chart, get further into positive territory, stay further. If that curls over, I know it's not the moment. If that curls over, I know it's not the moment, but it's not curling over. So I want it to go really positive. Actually, I thought they had $4 billion in cash on hand and they already took care of the debt. Maybe not though. It's possible for GME, but technically on a 15-minute, I don't think we've even seen that cross. So if you're looking for a pullback, look at the 15-minute, and then if that curls up positive, that would be a good sign. Maria, thank you so much for subscribing. Appreciate you. All right, let's do a little breakdown because it's 10:30. I have to hop off, but I'm going to get back on most likely later today around 1:30 when Jerome Powell talks. Okay, so what do we want to look at today? Well, we're in the zone that we were talking about this morning. This morning we were in the zone. Right now we said volumes coming back in. We know they want to rig the market higher. Now they have convinced a lot of people to go to the call side, so we can pay attention to that. Maybe there's a few tricks left in their bag. We know that XLU is going lower while the SPY is going higher. We know that is there. We know the dollar has been going up since December of 2023. That's very important. But we could see another rigged move. I think if they want to cause the most pain, there's going to be big swings throughout the day. Big implied volatility throughout the day, okay? We're still not on the biggest volume here, which is interesting, but that can pick up with a big event like Jerome Powell. So I think what would happen is if we get that 15-minute pullback, look for us to pop up, because a lot of the time the first move isn't the right one, maybe the second one, and then the next day we see something bad. So we'll pay attention. We still have PPI the next day as well. We're just going to pay attention to the signals. I will be back later this afternoon live, and we might not have a breakdown video for tonight. We might just do it during the live video later this afternoon. So just pay attention. This is a zone where we can start to see some bad stuff or some selling come in. I'm not going to say bad stuff. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say some kind of selling can come in this area. I think the market is rigged, so I'm going to take a position if volatility starts to turn up in this area. Okay, now the Qs. Very similar story. Now, why is this area important? And we're talking about this with the SPY as well. Why is this area important? Well, this is as high as you're supposed to go for the day. This is as high as you're supposed to go for the entire week. This is as high as you're supposed to go for the entire month. And we are outside of all of that. And it is only the 12th. It is only the 12th. We have a few hours left for this. We have a few days left for this, but we have a long time for this. So the probability is 68% chance that we land down in this area by the end of June. And that's what I'm really paying attention to. I think we're approaching a top. I think we actually should have had a top already, but we're seeing the rigged market at work, and the rigged market includes this guy right here. So don't think that this can't head higher. This can see a pullback and they can rig it higher. This is probably the new NVIDIA at this point. This is probably the new NVIDIA, and they're going to rig this as much as possible. They're using a different stock now, I think, to hold the market, or to hold GME and AMC down just a little bit, because we know that GME would just be exploding. You know the amount of calls that came into them. It's insane. It's insane how many calls have come into them. So this right here, just pay attention. 15-minute crosses down. It's far away from the center line, so watch for that to curl back up, right? I know we're way out of that weekly expected move. We are way out of it. We held on it for a little bit, bursted, okay. Now we can pay attention if we start to use that as some form of support. Tesla here, great move, first of all. So 15-minute pullbacks can come in this area. But the thing you really have to pay attention to here with Tesla is the 2-hour just now curled up. It's still negative. So this is a very strong move. It's going to need to consolidate or something like that. If not, up here's where we see traps to the upside, right? We got the big trap to the upside. Now we have the big trap to the downside. Maybe the correct move is up, but if the correct move is up, you're going to see the daily MACD turn up into positive territory, be able to get above 180.92 and close up there. The last time we closed up there is kind of a big trap, right? So just be careful with Tesla. I'm going nowhere near that stock. It looks like all chop and a lot of things, building up liquidity for some big moves. Amazon, this has not hit the upside move yet. And we're looking like we may go creep up towards that and create that point of divergence between three highs. Triple divergence, multiple point diverges all over this thing, very close to the center line. Watch out if that rolls over, we can go negative trend. Now, the reason I'm talking about that is because the 30-minute is overall creating that divergence right now for you. So you're getting another point of divergence right here. If that rolls over, you're very close to the center line. If it doesn't, then you're going to see that continued positivity. Maybe we get a pullback and that curls right back up, right? If this just goes like that and then we pull back, we go right back up. The craziness can continue. We have to follow the signals very closely. Now, NVIDIA, this one here on the 1 hour, look at that triple divergence. Looks like a straight up triple divergence. If this rotates down, that would be weakness in momentum. You need that bad news though. We say that a lot too on this channel. It's like, if you have all the divergences and then you don't get bad news to send you in a short squeeze, especially in a squeeze like this, if you don't get that bad news that really sends you into negative territory, then you're probably just going to let the craziness continue. So we have to see what happens with PPI. We got lots of rocks in the stream. Pay attention to this one. Overall, if you want to be patient, just wait for that daily to cross over. You're probably going to see a prolonged daily at least pullback from this point. We know that the stock is rigged. We know that the stock is rigged. That's why you see glitches everywhere. AMD, this one here curled down on the daily, so it would be breaking down, but we just mentioned how the weekly expected move was right where we were at. It was right in this area. And what are we doing? Well, we curl up. So now we can go maybe positive. We want to see if that 2 hour rolls up. We can see another move higher for AMD. If it wants to break through some structure, see if it can break through. Maybe we see an upward move here, right? We have to pay attention to an upward move. And just pay attention if that ever curls back down. That's all we're doing here is following the signals. Meta, this one, 2 hour curls down, you finally get a pullback. Right now you're seeing in the 30-minute a solid divergence here. It just doesn't look the cleanest. If we pull up an hourly, it's just a little bit cleaner, right? One cross up, one cross down leads to a divergence that could fall to lower levels. So pay attention to this going forward. AMC and GME, great look to these. Right, we called the hourly turn up. We saw that the 30-minute is what we want to pay attention to right now. If the 30-minute curls down, you can see a pullback. That is very important to understand. We could pull all the way back to 437. We could pull all the way back to like $3.50. It doesn't matter. What we want to see is if that does pull back at any time, does that curl back up, right? Does that confirm another upward move? As of right now, it's not curling down. Okay, and the 2 hour is crossed. So you have 2-hour momentum with you going into the rest of the day for AMC and GME. And the cool part about AMC as well, if it keeps going up here, now daily momentum's with you too. You see that little green bar right there. GME rejected the crossing. You got that green back with you. This looks like positivity. And what did we notice? Well, the 30-minute is what I want to pay attention to. If this rolls over, I'm close to the center line. That can be a bad thing. So that means not it, right? Cross down, then the price of the stock goes down. Crosses back up into positive territory. Well, then the positive price will continue. That's what we're paying attention to for the 30-minute. But as far as right now goes, the 2-hour trying to roll up right now. So this 2-hour bar matters. There's still an hour and 48 minutes left in the bar, but this 2-hour crossing up would mean 2-hour momentum is with you, and that is a good sign. Now, volatility not able to make, the SPY just got a rip. Volatility not able to make a lower low here. Very interesting to see that. If this 2-hour curls up, I'm probably taking a play here. I just wanted to mention that because the daily hasn't crossed over either. And this is that higher low scenario that we were talking about like a week ago where the SPY drops off, gives us some kind of higher low in this area, and then we rock it up. So I still think that we're paying attention to the right things, especially with XLU seeing that fade completely today. Got gap up, fades. And the SPY hasn't caught up to this yet, okay? The SPY hasn't caught up to this yet, so we're paying attention to it. We still need to pay attention to the signals in the actual time frames to make sure that we know that it's going to catch up to XLU. The signal I think we're really looking for is just the SPY crossing over on the daily MACD. I think that if the SPY crosses over on the daily MACD, I think it's going to start to fall down, but we know that there's rigged moves throughout all of it, so we'll be watching it back and forth. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today for the morning here. I'm going to hop off for a little bit, maybe go grab some lunch, say hi to baby girl, and we'll see what's to come. We got to just be a little bit cautious out there. I know I've said that a lot. It's just once you start to approach these areas, we said be cautious. Once you start to approach these areas, we say be cautious. Down here, we said short squeeze. Now we've gotten it. Now we say be cautious, and that's the overall take for right now. And I suggest higher time frames would be the better plays. Longer out positions seem like the thing that I am leaning towards at this moment. So we'll see what happens with that. Also, just real quick, the Dow fading the move, by the way. So the Dow fading the move, which someone pointed out, that's very true. Financials are not getting that full-fledged bounce at this moment, so the Dow can't pop higher. This looks like the structure you would get to start to break down through this area, so we'll pay attention. It's in negative territory. Technically, the Dow is negative right now, and that's important to see. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you guys over on AMC just for a brief moment on a 30-minute chart. We are going to let you guys watch that for a moment here. Let's watch GME, actually, because that thing was kind of screaming higher. Let's watch GME for a little bit here, and I'm going to hop off, and I will see you guys later this afternoon. I just need to take a little break, okay? Peace. Yeah, so for Jerome Powell, I'll try to come back for Jerome Powell. And Spencer, thank you so much for subscribing, by the way. Yeah, I'm going to see if any trade setups are there. But right now, with the way the market is, it's very difficult. That's why I put out that video yesterday on Patreon, just kind of being like, here's the thing, look at the bigger time frames. And I'm going to see if anything sets up. If something does set up, I will put out a Patreon video. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you for the questions. I'll see you later, most likely for Jerome Powell. I'll let you guys know if that changes on Patreon. I'll say like, hey, I can't go live today. I got to take care of baby girl or something like that. But for now, it's looking like I can. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Peace.